17 of the 2025 Top End T20 Series sponsored by NT Tourism. Today's match is between two of our overseas sides, the Chicago Kingsmen and the Pakistan Shaheens. I'd like to start this broadcast by acknowledging the Larrakia people, the traditional owners of the land we are on, and pay my respects to elders past and present. And emerging, I'd also like to extend that respect to any Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people watching this broadcast. As you can see there, the bat flip earlier was won by Pakistan out in the middle, and they have elected to bowl first. I am joined by Will Zwar. Let's take a look at the lineups, Will.
Yeah, looking at the first, we've got the Kingsman lineup, and there's just the one change. In comes Ehsan Adil. He takes the place sorry, bear with me, a bit of a tongue twister there, Asif Mahmood. So that's the big change there. And for the Pakistan Shaheens, coming in is Shahid Aziz, his third game for the tournament. He missed last night's game. He takes the place of Mubasir Khan, who goes out after last night. He took 1 wicket for just 4 runs. And looking at the top order there in particular, Abdul Samad, the first drop, he scored 110. So while Yasir Khan and Khawaja Nafay will be looking to improve on their double ducks last night, they know that they've got a pretty handy batter following them up.
Yes, I was fortunate to be in the commentary box last night watching that absolute display of batting. It was highly entertaining, I must say, and I can't wait to see him and the rest of both sides out there today. I've been very impressed with both teams. They've both got some international experience in their side, probably more experience than some of the other lineups around the competition, but amazing scenes last night. So if you haven't seen it, then I suggest you get online and watch some of the highlights. It was great to watch. Looking like the umpires are getting ready to head out. We'll take a short break and be back with the first ball shortly.
Are you looking to hit your studies for 6? Make the move to Australia's Northern Territory and start a world-class partnership where your potential can glide through boundaries and you can rack up runs in places you've never imagined. Enjoy our laid-back lifestyle and help us build what's next. When this over is over, think about getting on a good wicket and consider studying in Australia's Northern Territory. Authorised by the Northern Territory Government, Darwin.
The city, it's the ideal base for travellers chasing sun, culture or the cricket. With 3 comfortable hotels, 2 inviting pools and 2 on-site dining options, everything you need is right here. Relax, recharge and enjoy the top end at Darwin Airport Resorts.
Welcome back. The moment has arrived. The Chicago Kingsmen and the Pakistan Shaheens. It's going to be an absolute cracking game. As I said earlier, Pakistan have won the toss and they have elected to field first. They were over the road last night, so they probably want to have a look at the pitch, familiarise themselves before they bat on it. And it's going to be a great game, Will.
Yeah, absolutely. For those of you tuning in from outside of Darwin, it's the middle, or it's towards the end of our dry season here, so not the Australian winter you're probably expecting. It is a beautiful 29 degrees. There's not a cloud in the sky here. Humidity is up at 25% at the moment. The feels like temperature at 28. There's a little bit of wind here at the moment going at 17 kilometres an hour. Looks like it is a sort of a westerly wind at the moment. As if you don't know, DXC Arena, it's just in the sporting precinct here near the airport, so it can be prone to some pretty strong wind gusts from time to time. And looks like starting the bowling today, Steve, is going to be Ubed Shah.
Yes, and opening the batting for Chicago is Jangia and Khan.
Shah so far has taken a wicket in each of his games. Coming in for the first ball of the match now. No.
Just a warm-up.
Little warm-up.
That's all right.
So the first 3 games so far, Steve, 1 for 21, 1 for 22 and 1 for 20. So relatively consistent across the competition.
Yes, good economy rate there. Just taking a little bit of time just to settle in to the new environment after being over at TIO last night and having a fantastic win. Coming in from the northern end. Here's the first ball. Oh, it's a beautiful area. Just short of a length. Beat the bat and the keeper. And that's a very promising start. Don't quite have the same support as I had last night at the secondary venue out here, but there's plenty of chirp out there from the Shaheens. They'd be up and about after their win last night.
Yeah, 1 o'clock local time here. You wonder if you might see a few people filter through for a lunchtime bit of cricket. There is a big US flag just over there in front of the cricket pavilion. I wonder if the sole support will be joined by a few more as the afternoon progresses. But there's been some great support from these international teams in this top end T20 series this year.
Shah again from the northern end. Again, it's a good length and cautiously played there by Khan. Some of the Pakistan supporters possibly having a bit of a sleep in after their win last night.
Yes, a massive, great win. Plenty of reason for celebration. We mentioned that century earlier. Going to Abdul Samad. I think that might only be the second so far of the tournament, Steve, but hoping to see a couple more as we progress through.
Shah again, beautiful approach. This time he strays on the leg side and it's been put away through mid-wicket, and it's going to be the first boundary of the morning. Great start here for the Kingsmen. So Khan taking a couple of balls just to settle in a little bit as we watch the replay now. Just straying onto the leg side, and it has been punished as it should be. A little bit of chat around potential field changes, and there is a man going out to on the leg side there at mid-wicket. Bit of a breeze around. I'll have a chat to you in a moment, Will, about the impact there. In comes Shah. Oh, he's had a big swing at that, Khan. Looking to eye off that cover boundary. You're a local, Will. Tell us about the breeze.
Yeah, as mentioned, we're here at DXC Arena, which is just sort of the north side of the airport, so can be prone to sort of generally north-south winds. Typically during Aussie rules season here, the goals also run north-south, and for whatever reason, you generally see goals both here and across the road at TIO Stadium kicked towards that south end. It doesn't necessarily correlate with the wind direction, but it is a fascinating trend.
Cautiously played there by Khan this time with a fuller delivery. So potentially there could be a bit of swing around for the bowlers today, particularly with a new ball.
Yeah, absolutely. And what you do notice when you're looking at flags around all the stadiums here at the sporting complex, obviously there's football, cricket, there's also soccer, rugby, tennis, is those flags, they're just blustering in every direction. You might have 3 in a row all going in completely different directions. It's quite fascinating, but I guess, yeah, a unique part of the arenas here and the sporting facilities, given we are so close to the airport.
Sharon again, it's been a tidy over. This time it's outside off stump at a length, and it's cautiously played by Khan. He's happy with his one boundary for the over. Had a look at the others, and after the first over, the score is none for 4.
Yeah, a good first over, up relatively tight. Just the one boundary from it, as you mentioned. Shahjeel Khan didn't manage to swap strike at all. I think they'll just be easing into it, but typically you've sort of seen that 160, 170 is almost enough in this competition so far. There have been a few tallies which have gotten much higher than that, but to get that, you're sort of looking at about 8.5 per over. Obviously, just easing into it. I think Pakistan, I'm not sure if they have played at this ground yet. I'm not sure if, I think the Kingsmen might have on Super Saturday. But yeah, could just be easing into the conditions here. As we mentioned, a few of these venues don't typically hold cricket, so it has created a variety of pitches as well across the T20 tournament here.
Jangir gets his first opportunity to face now. The new bowler being Masood. Bowling from the airport end.
Masood, he's already taken 5 wickets so far in the tournament. Best bowling, 3 wickets for 30 back in game 1 against Bangladesh.
In he comes now. Just a gentle little delivery. This time it's been smacked straight out to the point boundary. Can't bowl looseness at this level, and that's been punished. 4 runs. Good start from Jangir, 4 off 1.
And again, just punishing that that bowling there. Found the gap through to the point, the onside boundary. Sorry, the offside boundary.
Hopefully this one will be a little bit more on it. He's thrown it up, and it's well played. It'll be no run. Straight to the fielder. Well fielded there by Sadaquet. Pakistan fielded also extremely well last night, as well as their bowling.
In the first 4 overs, we do have a power surge, so only 2 fielders allowed outside that circle.
Masood this time has bowled a no ball, so that will mean we'll have a free hit available, which is always an excitement factor for the crowd and the batting team. Umpire signals free opportunity to swing the arms here. Let's see what he can do. Jangir dances down the wicket, and it's gone over the top of mid-on, and it's going to go all the way to the boundary for 4 runs. He's made the most of it. Beautiful shot there by Jangir. He's already moved on now to 8 runs, and we're only in the 2nd over.
So already they've started to build that run rate up now. This is, yeah, a bit better than they were looking after that first over. Really just the one opportunity. Obviously they're going to come as the game develops, but they'd be happy to get that up and about quicker, sooner rather than later.
Yeah, certainly started better than they did last night. As I say, I was a bit concerned they were going to get skittled for 50 last night and then end up putting on a show after that. This time we've gone for the reverse, and it's going to end up being a nice little single, showing they've got some cricket smarts as well as the power.
And those 2 fielders, they're really changing it up, but those 2 fielders outside of that circle, looks like they're taking their place at long off and at deep point, or probably more up towards extra cover. For those of you playing along at home.
Khan back on strike, the left-hander. It's a short delivery. It was quite hittable, but it appears to have possibly stayed down a little bit low there. And it's a plain miss. Saad's probably pretty happy with that. Expensive over so far. Let's see if he can exit. This time it's a little bit full. It's been worked onto the leg side, and it will be a very easy single, so much so that the batters decide to walk the last little part. That brings us to the end of the 2nd over, another productive one, and it is none for 15.
Yes, 11 runs off the over. We'll take a quick look at the Kingsmen batters on your screen at the moment. Jahangir, he's also the wicket keeper today. Reliable middle order batter, typically, obviously starting, opening it up today. He transitioned from Pakistan's cricket circuit, become a staple in the US national setup.
Shah in now. Again, he's gone for the length delivery. This time it's been punched out to the offside. And they're going to get a comfortable 2 as the throw comes in from the boundary. Positive batting again from the Chicago Kingsmen.
And interesting they've opted to go with Shah. Again, I don't know if you've noticed this as well, Steve, but a lot of the games I've seen, they've almost started every team this year's across the competition with sort of 6 different bowlers before they've opted for a second over. Instead, Pakistan here, Shah bowling his second over in the 3rd of the match.
Plenty of chat out there. It doesn't matter whether it's a dot ball or boundary. They're up and about the Pakistan side. Kingsman made a very good start here. None for 17 off 2.2. Enthusiasm plus, it's great to see. Shah in again. And they get a nice single. Good combination of boundaries, singles and 2s here from the Chicago Kingsmen.
Yeah, just slowly sustaining, I guess, that early run rate they've managed to get up to at the moment. Happy to not do anything too risky at this stage. Obviously a lot of cricket still to come.
Shah's been very consistent with his length so far. Hasn't really mixed up his pace too much, but that's pretty standard practice with a new ball. We'll probably introduce some variations later on his spell. In he comes now from the northern end. This one's on the pad, there's bat in it, he's appealed. There's a bit of a mix-up, they've had to throw at the stumps at the far end, but the Kingsmen are safely home.
And that one also called wide.
A no ball, so that will be a free hit. Last time Jangir made the most of it with a boundary, some great footwork from the Kingsmen opening bat. Let's see what they're going to do here. Can't change the field, of course. Umpire signals with our very unique signal. Looks like he's on the dance floor.
Bit of a lasso move.
Lasso move, yeah, could be a bit of a rodeo move. Great innovation in T20 cricket. In he comes now, Shah. Bit of movement in the crease, he's bowled short. It's gone over the top for 4 runs, and it has also been called a wide. So that is very helpful for the Kingsmen, who are flying along early. Only the 3rd over, they're making the most of the power play at the moment. They haven't lost a wicket yet. But Pakistan wouldn't be too concerned at this stage after their batting performance last night. And again, we see the signal for a free hit because that carries over from the previous ball.
I was about to say it's not getting sloppy yet, but I think after that ball you could say the US side are really making the most of the sloppy balls that are coming down their end from the Pakistan outfit.
In comes Shah now. Another huge swing, but unfortunately he hasn't made any contact. And Shah would be happy about that one after the 2 previous balls. He has bowled well other than the wide and the no balls. He just unfortunately bowled one a little bit too short and overstepped a couple of times as he has a little bit of a look at the foot marks there. Has a chat to the umpire, which is standard practice after bowling a no ball. Not sure what it actually achieves. Positive start here. At this stage they're looking like 40 plus at least for the power play. Shah hopefully has something to say about that as he gives the ball a bit of a polish at the top of his mark. This one strays under the legs. A very encouraging appeal, but it probably was sliding down the leg side. He also gave himself a bit of room by moving towards the bowler, and there was no real chance of that being given out, and they scampered through for a leg bye.
Yeah, umpire never took the bait there, not for a second.
Both Khan and Jangi are scoring at near enough to a runner ball at the moment, which is a positive start, but at the same time they do need to fill their boots while there is only 2 men out. At this stage we've got someone out deep on either side of the wicket. So opportunities are available straight. If Shah does overpitch, which he hasn't done so far, he's been bowling that length delivery. He's now waving his arms around, and we're going to bring in the man on the offsides to now have all the protection on the leg side. So Shah may bowl a little bit straighter here. Certainly doesn't want to bowl too wide of off stump. Shah to Khan. He does indeed bowl at the pads, and they scamper through for a quick single. And that is the end of the over. Score is none for 26 after 3 overs.
Yeah, they've started to build that up. As you can see, 8.65 the run rate. We sort of said that winning scores have been around that 8.5 mark, so even less possibly. So, yeah, really good start so far for the US Kingsmen. And looking at the bowling there, Shah at 6.5 off 2 overs. That was a much more expensive over, conceded 9 runs from it. And Masood, obviously that first one, 11 went off that one.
Masood has enough faith from the captain that he's going to get another go as he comes in now from the airport end. This one is short, but he's got away with it, and it is hit straight to the fielder for no run. Probably got enough credits in the bank, Masood, in his recent performances. Masood into Khan. Khan gives himself a little bit of room, and unfortunately for him, he has given a catch to the point region. It is comfortably taken, and it's the first wicket for the Pakistan Shaheens, and they are absolutely delighted.
Yeah, it has sort of seemed like a bit of a sloppy start for the bowling outfit here, the Shaheens. They'd be pretty happy with that wicket because it just sort of felt that Sajil Khan and Shan Jahangir were just getting a little bit comfortable there, Steve. But that'll be all for those two in the end of 26-run partnership. 8 for Khan, 9 for Jahangir, and that means about 7 runs as well. I think more than that, my maths isn't my strong point, but quite a few sundries in there as well.
Yeah, comfortably taken, and you can see the extra angle there diving to his right, and it is exactly what the doctor ordered for the Pakistan Shaheens, because the Kingsmen, as you say, were starting to look pretty comfortable, and now it means that we have a new batter for the back end of the power play.
And with just 4 balls left in this power play, you wonder if that's going to have a mental effect on the batter. Is he going to think, I've got 4 balls to maybe make a dent in that score and get underway and lead to some risky shots, or does he play it safe, Steve?
Yeah, well, that's the challenge, isn't it? Jayasuri is going to have to work it out. Would have been in these circumstances before. I think you still need to have positive intent. In comes Masood now to the new batter. He comfortably rocks back and works it into the leg side for a single. Smart batting. Jayasuri off the mark. Jahangir, he's the man. He's already seen 8 deliveries. He has an opportunity now to try and make the most of the final balls of this power play. Kingsmen would have ideally liked to get 40 plus after losing that wicket. They're probably going to be happy with something in the high 30s now. Masood comes in. It's a good delivery and cautiously played there by Jahangir. Respect shown to the bowler. Much better second over here from Masood. Masood in again. This one's a little bit shorter. And it has been hit out to the deep fielder in the leg side for a comfortable single. Eyes lit up briefly there.
Well weighted there.
So only one ball remaining in the power play. Both fielders out on the leg side for the left-hander. Masood comes in. Oh, that's a beautiful delivery. Fair bit of turn there away from the left-hander. It's a play and miss, and it's finished off a very good over, picking up the wicket and only 2 runs. All of a sudden his figures look absolutely fantastic after an expensive first over. Masood has 1 for 13 off 2 overs, and the Kingsmen, after 4 overs in the power play, are 1 for 28.
Already a few swings and roundabouts in this one, Steve. Looking at the Shaheens, as you mentioned, that wicket means both bowlers currently on pretty good figures, and that run rate has already been taken back to 7. You thought, gee, they're a little bit sloppy at the moment. The Kingsmen might pick up some easy early runs here, but all of a sudden 1 good over, and that's the beauty of T20. It can change just like that.
Left-handed Jangia is actually on strike here.
So far he's picked up 38 off 30 in the first game, and he went out for a duck off 4 balls on Sunday against the Strikers.
That one gets up on his hip, and Jangi is happy to push that into the leg side. He was thinking about a second run, but unfortunately he slipped on his backside, and as a result that's ruled out any chance of a second run that probably wasn't there anyway. The wind is starting to pick up. You may hear that at home.
Wasim Jr., the new bowler.
We've seen in this tournament the captain's very keen to rotate the bowlers pretty regularly. Occasionally we see spinners settle in at one end, but generally speaking we've seen a lot of 1 and 2 over spells, which seems to be the trend in modern cricket these days.
4 wickets for him so far in this tournament. 2 for 24 is best figures that first night against Bangladesh.
In comes Wasim Jr., who bowled very well last night. So a good length ball pushed into the offside, and they get a single. The throw is made, but is well backed up, so no damage done. Chicago happy to work in singles for a little while here after the recent wicket. See Wasim Jr.'s figures there. Pretty good economy rate of 5.75 and picking up 4 wickets. That's in all formats. Jangia on strike. Wasim Jr. is a little bit fuller this time. It's been edged down to 3rd man, and the throw is a good one, which means there's no chance of a second run.
Yeah, Jahangir slowly building up, 12 off 12. Jayasuriya 2 off 3, still just easing himself into the partnership here.
It has been also a trend for the batters. They have taken their time early in this tournament and exploded later on, getting used to the wickets. Wasim Jr. This time it's a short ball.
Ooh.
And it's come off the bat. The appeal is on, and it is out. The batsman seemed a little bit stunned there. I don't think he was expecting it to come in so close to the body.
No, I think he definitely thought that was going to bypass him and go over the top. It did snick his bat on the way through, and an untimely finish for Jayasuriya. Just 2 runs off 3 balls. Caught there sort of in the slips, I think it was, in the end.
Yes, he's practicing the shot on the way off. As we can see here, it really was very close to the body. He tried to get out of the way, but it went straight back to a wideish gully, and it was beautifully taken. We can see the side-on angle here. He very much tried to get out of the way, but it seemed like it followed him. Absolutely stunned, but he's on his way, practicing his shots on the way off.
Caught there by Faisal Akram, and Wasim Jr. takes his first of the afternoon.
New batsman is Kumar. Pakistan, you would say, now on top after an early positive start from the Kingsmen.
Yeah, that the flow of the game definitely sort of going the way of Pakistan. You thought that the Kingsmen might be on their way to a pretty straightforward innings with the bat. It just looked a little bit sloppy early, but they've really tightened it up, and even looking at this over, they've barely let one through that inner circle. I think one push down, but straight into a fielder's hands. Down at third man.
Milind Kumar on strike for his first delivery. Facing Wasim Jr. This is a magnificent shot. He waited on it, he timed it, and it is 4 runs straight down the ground. What a positive start from Kumar.
Kumar already gotten 27, his high score so far for the tournament. That was on Sunday against the Adelaide Strikers, off 25, and 11 off 9 in that first game against the Perth Scorchers. He's also been pretty handy with ball in hand. We'll get to that later, but 3 wickets for the tournament so far.
Bright start for Kumar. Let's see what he can do for his second delivery. This time, Wasim Jr. brings the ball back in. Possibly an off-cutter there. Fields off his own bowling. Probably an unnecessary throw. They get through for a single. Jangir back on strike. Currently going at a runner ball. Probably getting ready to go into another gear now. Also, this is the end of the over. After 5 overs, the score is 2 for 36. See the scorecard there after a bright start. Kingsmen now in a little bit of trouble. Those 2 wickets in the second and third overs have swung the game, but as we know, it can easily swing back the other way.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I have noticed as well throughout the competition, Steve, is those power surges late, they can really change the pace of a game. Pakistan noticed that against Perth Scorchers, where they really brought themselves back in the game with, I think, 3 or 4 wickets in those those 2 overs later in the innings.
Spot on. Faisal Akram is the bowler from the airport end. He bowls the ball down the leg side. It's swept. It will be just the 1 run.
Akram already getting involved today. Took that catch of Shahan Jayasuriya. Hoping someone can do the same off his bowling here. Bowling from the airport end.
Akram in now to Jangir. He swings and misses. Well taken by the keeper. Pakistan certainly have been very good with their chirp, but they've picked it up now that there's 2 wickets down, as you'd imagine. Here comes Akram again. This time he is hit down, straight down the ground. A little bit of a misfield, which has facilitated a second run, and they're able to trot through to keep the score ticking over for the Kingsmen.
That run rate now at 7.09. Still competitive, still on track for a somewhat competitive score, but they wouldn't want it to drop too much, and 2 missed time wickets so far as well.
Jangir looked like he shaped up for the reverse, then he changed his mind and he's rocked back on the back foot and hit a beautiful shot to point for a boundary. Reactive batting there.
Yeah, Jahangir, the man so far, the danger man. I think that's now 18 off 15. He's scored.
He looked like he was going to premeditate there, and then he changed his mind, and then he said, I am going bang. Possibly trying to put the bowler off. Very effective tactic. Bright start here from Jangir. Important role to go on with it now. If he can bat for the next 10 overs, it's going to give the Kingsmen every chance to post a big competitive score.
Just resetting the field. Bringing in a slip.
Akram in now to Jangir. It is a full delivery, and he's driven it down too long on for a single. Smart batting. So now with the power play over, we've got fielders all around the boundary, as you'd imagine. The only place we don't have them is behind the wicket, which is probably why he was potentially shaping up earlier. In comes Akram now. This one's down the leg side. It's actually... No. They got so excited. I thought it might have been a wicket, but they were just getting a bit carried away over not much at all. It was not going to go anywhere near the stumps. It was going to go down leg side. Very optimistic appealing there from the Pakistan Shaheens.
Yeah, again, the umpire straight away just wasn't taking any of that end of the over. 8 from it from Faisal Akram's first. Kingsmen 2 for 44 after 6 overs. And your umpires today, Imran Mohammed and Ahmad Khan.
Jangir on strike.
Will be Mars Sadakat having a bowl from the northern end.
Also bowled well last night, Sadakat. Looking to back it up today. This one is flighted up. Only early. He did spin the ball profusely along with all the Pakistan bowlers last night. Had the Renegades in absolute all sorts.
As you saw there by his first ball, left arm orthodox bowler.
This time it's worked into the leg side for an easy single. Kingsmen showing a lot of maturity here, picking off the singles regularly, trying to re-establish themselves after those 2 wickets.
Has a first class best bowling of 5 wickets for 80. Pretty handy effort, Steve.
Yeah, absolutely. This time it's flighted up. It is hit hard, but there is protection out there, and they will trot through for an easy single to Kumar. Throw is wide, but that doesn't matter too much. Pakistan are up and about, backing each other up, looking pretty sharp in the field. Sadaquat making a couple of small changes to the field, bringing an extra man onto the leg side. Into the mid-wicket position. He's also got someone out deep in the mid-wicket area as well, working together. In comes Sadaquat now. It is hit out to the leg side, but the fielders aren't going to be much use over there. It's gone all the way for a massive 6. That is a great shot from Jangir, and it should tick the Kingsmen over the 50 mark.
Yeah, very good effort there from the Kingsmen. That'll have to be collected from the kiosk, I think. It's gone a long way. And as you said, that takes him over the 50 mark, now on 52 runs.
Jangir moving around in the wicket. He's hit it straight to the fielder. There is a misfield, but they have decided to not take the risk. Always dangerous to run on a misfield, and no run.
Take a look at this here. Bang.
Again, very productive or proactive with his little dance step first hand to try and put the bowler off, and then distributed it into the pavilion area. In comes Sadaquat now. He's thrown this one up. It's been hit hard, and as a result, it will just be the 1. We saw last night the Pakistan Shaheens were very clever navigating the 2s as well as the boundaries and hitting big 6s. It's a little bit more difficult to do the 2s on this oval because these are a little bit smaller. So we might not see too many 2s today. Certainly won't see any 3s. And after 7 overs, the score is 2 for 53.
Yeah, 9 off that over. The first from Sadakat, and the Shaheens have kept that run rate at 7.5. It's sort of got back to a relatively even affair at the moment, Steve.
Yeah, absolutely. I think with those 2 early wickets, Pakistan were on top, but now the Kingsmen have bounced back and got himself in a reasonable position to accelerate over the next few overs.
Yeah, that 6 in that over really helped the cause there.
We see a change of bowler at the airport end. And it is Aziz.
He missed last night's game, but back into the side. This is his 3rd outing so far in the top End T20 Series this year.
In comes Aziz. It's a full delivery. He's going to have to field off his own bowling because the man on the onside there is back, and as a result, they've managed to pick up 2. Good running there and smart batting by the Kingsmen.
Good fielding. A little bit of a dispute there over whose ball it was to chase, but yeah, in the end it was good fielding and good keeping as well. Just to contain that. They did concede that rare 2 that you said we might see rarely today, Steve, but we did get one.
Yes, right on cue. Here comes Aziz. Oh, that is a beautiful delivery. You'd be happy with that in 4-day cricket. Moving away from the batsman there. And unfortunately for the Shaheens, no edge, but it was beautifully bowled. He looks like he's nice and fresh after his game off.
And interesting to see how different teams have sort of used their entire squad with the condensed, I guess, competition here. Only about 10 days long, 11 days long, the entire competition, 6 games they're playing, so multiple games, sometimes 3 games, 3 days in a row.
Aziz into Jhangia. Jhangia hits the ball hard, and it'll just be 1 to the boundary rider. Yeah, you're spot on with the freshening factor. Certainly the fast bowlers in particular can't be bowling every day. So all the teams will give their fast bowlers at least a couple of games off.
And a lot of innings that I've seen so far, they sort of kept the teams relatively similar those first 2 games and then changed it up a little bit more, usually with those bowlers for the 3rd outing.
Aziz into Kumar. Kumar hits the ball hard. He is just wide of the mid-off, which means that they get through for a comfortable single. It's been a reasonable over here from Aziz in his first over. No boundaries as of yet. He'll be looking to finish with a couple of dots. Healthy run rate at this stage for the Kingsmen. This time Aziz bowls short. It has been hit hard. It's going to be taken if he's going to be under it. Yes, he's got it. He's out. Comfortably taken at deep mid-wicket. And the Pakistan Shaheens have got their 3rd wicket. That's going to stem the momentum and has swung the game back in Pakistan's way.
Yeah, he was a danger man, Jahangir, 30 today. And I think he's been pretty handy so far in the competition with bat in hand as well. Let's take a look at this catch again off the bowling of Shahid Aziz. Hits it out there and then caught it sort of that mid-wicket position.
Yeah, regulation catch that one. You don't want to be dropping those. Pretty much catching practice. Shaheens in their team meeting are up and about.
So 30 his knock today. He managed 38 in game 1 and a duck yesterday. So I guess sort of alternating between that 30 and 0 mark so far. We'll see if that trend continues in his next match.
Dylan is the next batter for the Chicago Kingsmen. And he's got a big job ahead of him with the Kingsmen now 3 down. Their run rate is relatively healthy, but they're going to have to get themselves going again now with 2 relatively new batters at the crease.
And Dylan, they're calling him Ranji Rookie to Centurion. He scored a first-class century in just his 2nd Ranji Trophy appearance. Pretty confident statement early in his career. He's also earned IPL contracts with the Mumbai Indians in 2018 and Kings 11 Punjab in 2020, highlighting the potential in high pressure T20 settings. Now playing his trade in Major League Cricket.
Aziz has got his back up now. He's got the impressive figures of 1 for 4 in his first over. He comes in now. It has been just poked over the top. I don't think it's got enough on it to go to the boundary, but they are going to end up getting a comfortable 2 because the fielder was on the ring. So like a little backyard cricket shot, that one, little scoop over the top. Very inventive.
Almost sort of landed like a well-struck 9-iron, just sort of popped in and rolled a few bits over, but couldn't quite make its way over through to the boundary.
Yeah, very much putting for par there on par 3.
And that's the first over for Aziz. 1 for 6 off it. And after 8 overs, the Kings are 3 for 59.
Now all of a sudden the scorecard for the Kingsmen not looking as healthy there with 2 new batters at the crease. We did see some entertainment from Jangia earlier, if you've just joined us. 30 off 25. But now the game has swung back the other way as T20 does. We'll have lots of other momentum swings throughout the game, no doubt. But we're still evenly poised at this early stage.
These 2 batters at the crease, they had a decent effort on Sunday against Adelaide Strikers. For Tajinder Dhillon, 41 off 28, and for Milind Kumar, 27 off 25. So yes, 2 fresh bats, but quite capable nonetheless. As that shot shows, that one won't quite go over for a boundary, but hit into long off.
Sadaquat is the bowler from the northern end. Still a healthy run rate, but they do need to establish and have 2 batters go for the next 5 to 10. Still got the power play up their sleeve. Sadaquat throws the ball up, and it's hit straight back to him. He's happy to field, and it's a dot in the book.
They'll prove me wrong here, Steve, but I suspect they might hold on to that power play for as long as they can, just the way it's been going. I think they'll try and establish a partnership rather than blaze away and lose some unnecessary wickets.
Sadaquat bowls. It has been absolutely smacked out to the leg side, and it is 4 runs. Beautiful shot there. He picked it up early, timed it lovely, and it's just what they needed. Takes the pressure off the bowling because Pakistan Shaheens were starting to dictate terms.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a few wickets particularly to that danger man, Jahangir, who's doing quite well. Maybe puts a bit of pressure on the batsmen if they can just show their own with a boundary like that. And that was hit with confidence as well. Nearly went the whole way for 6, but just met the short side of the rope.
This time it's wider of the offside.
Ooh.
It's chopped out. There is protection over there, so they'll just go through for the single. Sadaquat, really reasonably expensive here now, but he has bowled some good balls. Just been the boundary balls that he probably needs to get out of his game. Again, it is the nature of T20 cricket. Even the best bowlers are going to be hit around from time to time.
Conceded 7 off the over so far. 2 balls to come.
Dhillon on strike. Again, a positive shot. He's only early in his innings. He's only going to get 1 there. But he scored off both deliveries so far. Kumar on strike to Sadaquat in this last ball off his second over. This time it's wide, close to the wide line, but very good bowling. He's exited the over quite well. And after his first 2 overs, he now has none for 17.
8 conceded off that over for Mars Sadaquat. 3 for 67, the Kingsmen score at the moment. And a few early wickets for some low totals, but Shayan Jahangir definitely the danger man early on. 30, a reasonable total for him. Kumar and Dhillon will be hoping to try and square level with Jahangir there, just so that as a team they can build a healthy total. They'll need a few more on top of that as well. Current run rate of 744. Again, somewhat healthy, but they just want to be getting a little bit more bang for buck at the moment.
Aziz in his second over. This is full on the legs, and he has whacked it hard down to the boundary rider, and as a result, it'll just be one run. Again, positive batting. Dylan has had no trouble seeing the ball so far. He seems like his timing is on early. Kumar back on strike, going better than a run a ball at the moment. Nice smooth run up. This time he's gone short, and that is very good bowling. At any format of the game, there's not a lot you can do with that. In terms of T20 format, potentially you could open the face and hit it over the keeper's head. It's a difficult shot to play. Maybe get inside of it, hit it for 6, but that was off a pretty good length. It wasn't super short, and it's gone through at ear height.
Yeah, that one looks similar to Akram's catch of Jay Surya. I think that was back in the 5th over. Just sneaked out to the slip.
Aziz into Kumar. This time he does work out on the leg side. It is too short, and it is 4 runs. A beautiful shot there. The last one was more over the top of off, round about eye height. That was the closest to the hip, and Kumar has cashed in there. And the Kingsmen now move on to 3 for 68.
Yeah, just starting to show a little bit of flair here, the Kingsmen. Not let Pakistan get too much on top. Still say that Pakistan's economy is probably a little bit better at the moment.
Yeah, you got to cash in on those deliveries. That was a poor ball, that one. Let's see what he can come back with. This one is still shortish. It's outside off, and they are going to get an easy single. Pitch seems to be playing pretty well. I think it's going to need to be a good score here today. We've seen some slightly lower scores over the road at TIO, but the way these guys are tracking and the way the pitch is playing, I think you're probably going to be aiming for anything sort of 170 plus here, at least. Aziz in now. Comfortably played. They're going to get a nice single there. Keeper does have to dive from the throw. Only 3 off the over so far. Aziz impressing early on in his spell.
Yeah, Aziz so far 1 wicket for 9 runs.
Aziz in now. Again, it's a shortish length, similar to the one he got hit for 4, but it's been hit a little bit squarer this time. The boundary rider is able to cut it off for a comfortable single. Run rate still a healthy 7.29. Pakistan winning the toss today and choosing to bowl first.
And it is 1 for 14 off his 2 overs.
Halfway mark of the Kingsmen innings, and they've got a good platform to build from. If they can try and get that 10 per over from this point onwards, which is realistic over here on a pretty good deck, a quick outfield and reasonably small boundaries, 170 is on the cards.
Yeah, they wouldn't want to go any worse than what they've done so far.
Drop short this time by Masood. Enough pace on it to enable a single.
I if they could end up with 150 plus, I think that is defendable. You can see the bounding kangaroo flying above DXC Arena here. That is just how close we are to the airport here at Darwin International Airport.
Dylan on strike. Sweeps absolutely magnificently. That is 4 all the way. The fielder on the boundary wasn't that far away from the ball, but because it was travelling so quickly, it is 4 runs. And the Kingsmen cruise along with that boundary to become 3 for 80.
Good start to the second half of this innings.
Masood, the comeback ball now. It turns back in towards the batsman, a good delivery. Chopped down hard into the ground for a single.
Dylan and Kumar just building really nicely together here, Steve.
Yes, absolutely. Just the partnership they needed. Kumar on strike now. He's hit that ball hard, but there is a man there on the boundary, which means it'll be a single. Kumar going it better than a runner ball. He's probably going to be looking to go to top gear shortly.
Dylan also going better than a runner ball. Still probably finding his feet a little bit more, but they've sort of built up quite quickly now.
Masood to Dylan. Hits the ball too square. As a result, there's no run. Probably looking to work that a little bit straighter for a single down the ground. Didn't quite middle that one. Masood again. This one's shorter. It's been pulled away for an easy single. Batsman happy to trot through. Brings us to the end of the over. After 11 overs, the Kingsmen are 3 for 83. Masood's got impressive figures of 1 for 21 off 3, which is pretty good going in this format.
Just the last 6 overs or so as well. The Kingsmen have been happy to settle for 1 boundary every over or so, just to make sure that they are keeping that run rate sustainable and competitive. Expecting to see them slash out when that power surge comes, but as I said, Steve, I'm probably expecting that to come a little bit later in the innings. I think, particularly with these two, they wouldn't want either of them to go out too cheap when they're scoring the way they are just now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think your most dynamic batters would be the ones you'd be using the power play for. These guys have shown some capacity to find the boundary, but I'd agree possibly a little bit later on might be one to keep in the back pocket. As you can see, the Pakistan Shaheens bowling there.
Single wickets to Masood, Wasim Jr. and Aziz. And relatively balanced bowling the whole way around there. Economies between 6.5 and 8.5 there.
Players in the middle just taking a little mini break if you need to have a quick drink at home, and then we'll be back in with live action very shortly. Always warm up here in Darwin. Important to get a little drinks break, but it won't be long before we'll see them entertaining us again.
And as you can see, Milind Kumar and Tajinder Dylan, I think this is the strongest partnership of the match so far. Obviously some early wickets to Khan and Jai Surya before the danger man went. And looking at the next drop, Muhammad Hassan Khan, he scored 22 and 39 in his first 2 innings of the tournament so far as well. So even if they get a drop here, I don't think they'll be worried too much. Maybe beyond that, they might look to take an early power play. But otherwise, I don't think they're really considering that as a prospect at the moment. I think they're looking to keep these to win for as long as they can. Steve Nicol?
Yeah, absolutely. The Kingsmen have been a bit of a surprise packet, to be honest. I think a lot of people wrote them off early just because they saw the age demographic, a lot of older cricketers, and probably some cricketers that some people might not have heard of, but there's a lot of wisdom and experience, a lot of guys who've played all around the world, some with international experience, so they're more than capable all the way down there, and they're in pretty good position at the moment to set a competitive score to a very strong Pakistan Shaheens lineup, who we saw last night post a large score over the road.
And on top of that as well, that first game, I think they scored 227. They were blistering on that first night against Bangladesh, the Pakistan side.
Faisal Akram is the bowler from the airport end as we resume live play. Thrown up, it's powerfully hit, but it'll just be a single with all the men out on the boundary. 5 fielders, the maximum you can have on the boundary, of course. And the only area is behind the batter. So we need to get a bit funky if we want to find some space away from the boundary riders. Akram in. Ball punched out to the right-hand side this time of the fielder, and as a result they're going to get 2 runs. Good placement there. Been some very intelligent batting so far. Good combination of the singles. They've picked up 2s, which is hard to do here. And we've also seen some big hits. Akram comes in now. This one is at the body and it's chopped around the corner to deep square leg for an easy single. Akram in again. This one turns, but it's been chopped hard down into the ground. They're looking for 2, they're coming back hard. And again, excellent running here. Has been very few dot balls, which is smart T20 cricket. Sometimes batting teams can be a bit fixated on trying to find the boundary, but the experienced campaigners here, the Kingsmen, are managing to score using all methods. Oh, that is absolutely beautifully bowled. Turning away from the right-hander there. And I don't think he can do much as a batter there, Will.
No, not at all. He's been really tight with his bowling, particularly in this over. A couple of ones escaped out into the field.
Again, well bowled. It's gone wide of the bowler there. For a moment there, I thought it might have been a return catch opportunity, but they've gone through for another run. It brings us to the end of the over. That is 12 overs gone now for the Kingsmen, and the score is 3 for 90.
Faisal Akram, that second game against the Perth Scorchers, 5 for 16. So I think that was the competition's first fifer as well. He's already taken 10 wickets for the competition, yet to get one today, as Masood returns into the bowling attack.
Yeah, 5 is very rare in T20 cricket when you can only get to 4 overs. Dylan on strike. Made a nice positive start to his innings here. Dylan rocks back onto the back foot and he has done it beautifully. There's not a lot of power there. It's all about the placement and it's rolled into the Toblerones for 4 runs. Looks like a quality batter, Dylan.
Yeah, absolutely. Between he and Milan Kumar, again, this partnership is maybe striking us by surprise a little bit. You sort of thought with those early wickets, they might just be sort of a bit touch and go, but they're really starting to build quite nicely here.
Masood this time bowls the leg spinner out to the boundary rider who brings it a lovely little throw there for a single. Dylan and Kumar continuing to turn the strike over here, working well as a partnership. Both getting regular intervals on strike. Masood this time throws it up. It is going to be on the boundary and I think it's been taken. That is a beautiful catch. He possibly, oh, it's been called a no ball. That is absolutely all happening here. It is a free hit. It is not a wicket. It was caught on the boundary. And we are now going to see an opportunity to free the arms.
Gee, and that's disappointing for Pakistan. The Kingsmen are starting to build something quite strong here. They would have loved to have taken a wicket then and set them back to square one.
Free hit on, hit hard, out to exactly the same fielder. A little bit of irony in that, but they've only got the single. It could be a moment we'll look back on later on, Will.
Yeah, absolutely. And just looking at the last, even back to the 5th over, apart from when Shaheed Aziz took his wicket, they're averaging at about 8 runs and over.
Masood wider this time, and it has been beautifully struck again. This one with a fair bit of power, and it is gone for 4 runs.
This, the most expensive over of the innings so far. For Pakistan, the Kingsmen have managed 12 off it, and there's still 2 balls to come. And that crosses them over that triple figure mark, now tracking 3 for 102 off 12.4 overs.
Yeah, be pretty happy getting 100 runs at this stage. It does build a magnificent platform for them to push up high in the 100s. They'd now be eyeing off at 180 plus if they can keep these two here for a while. Masood throws this one up, and it is going to go over the top, and it is 6 runs. The umpire puts his arms in the air. The Kingsmen carry on, and it is absolutely very entertaining here. The boys look very comfortable here. Kumar and both Dylan showing their class.
Yeah, the second 6 of the match, and this expensive over just got even more expensive. Saad Masood wouldn't be too happy with how this has gone, especially after he nearly had a wicket if he didn't get that no ball.
Kumar this time just pokes outside off stump. There's a fair bit of protection there with a couple of deepish sort of gullies on the ring. And fortunately for the Pakistan, they get a little bit of relief there with a dot ball. And there's a bit of a replay of the 6. Is absolutely cracked that. The fielder on the boundary there had absolutely no chance.
Yeah, they were nearly looking at about 4 for 98 instead. They are looking at 3 for 108, I think. And look at that partnership. That partnership has just tracked over 51 as well from 31 balls. Dylan and Kumar only just got there as well.
Yeah, very bright start here. They look like they're happy batting with each other. They've got a good understanding with the running between the wickets as well. Dancing down the wicket this time. It's going to fall safely. It is in the air between 2 fielders. And it is just a single. Pakistan earlier electing to field first. They may be regretting that at this stage. Certainly the Scorchers last night would have regretted their decision to bowl first after conceding a massive score to the Pakistan Shaheens. Akram again. This one's flighted up on the legs, easily covered onto the leg side, and it is also beautifully placed as well. Even though the degree of difficulty on this oval is tough to get a lot of 2s, they are doing it at will just because of the placement and their timing. Good understanding between the 2.
They sort of upped their boundary rate as well, particularly last over. They got 3 from it. Wonder if they'll go searching for it here or just take the foot off the gas.
Akram again moving away from the batter and beautifully fielded there. All the fielders on the ring charging in with lots of enthusiasm. Dylan on strike. Dances down the wicket. Looking at 2, but it's not an option this time. Akram started brightly, but he's starting to bowl a little bit looser. He's got away with it a bit of it this over. Only gone for the 4 off the 4 balls. No doubt the Kingsmen looking for the next big one. Just a little bit of running repairs here to the pads for the batsman. Taking his time to get ready. '. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Dylan dances down the wicket, hits the ball hard. There is protection there. Because it was well hit, it means we've just got another single, becoming a regular occurrence. Scoring off most deliveries here. Hasn't been a big one this over. Could it come on the last ball of Akram's over? He swings it wide.
Oh.
He nearly could have left that, but he has cashed in. He's managed to get something on it, and as a result, it was a good decision, and it's gone all the way for 4. So,
yeah, really good end to that over, Steve. They were sort of tracking like maybe they were a bit nervous and just wanted to take stock after an almost catch out in the last over, but to end with a 4, they'd be pretty happy with that, and that takes it up to an 8-run over. Again, just keeping it consistently at that 8.
Score now after 14 overs is 3 for 117. It was a good decision to have a go at that one. Sometimes when they stray down the leg side, you're actually better off leaving it and just taking the wide. But in this case, he was able to get something on it, and it was a very close race between the two, and the disappointment, he had a little snooze afterwards with the realisation that he hadn't quite got there. But it was a great effort from Masood out there on the boundary. As you can see, the Manhattan, biggest over being the 13th over with 17 off, but a fair bit of consistency there, Will.
Yeah, pretty consistent, as you can see, apart from that 4th over where they got a wicket and conceded, or they only managed the 2 runs. They've been tracking pretty much at that 8 runs per over. Then that 13th, they managed to take 18. They could have conceded a wicket. Instead, they went on to score another 4 and another 6 off it. And looking at the fielding positions, I think we might have had that power play called now, Steve.
Yes, it is on. Good timing, I believe. We've got 2 men out only, and they are both on the leg side. Akram has been given the responsibility to try and navigate the first over of the power play. He comes in from the northern end. Swung hard, but only a single with the first of 12 balls of the power play.
Wasim Jr., I think it is, with the...
it's just ticked over now. Wasim Jr., as the screen updates for us. His first over was impressive with 1 for 8. Kumar on strike. Power play. Oh, Kumar has made absolutely great use of the crease there. He's given himself some room, and he has just paddled it down for 4 runs. That is beautiful batting. And a bright start to the power play.
Yeah, and they'd be happy with that, the 2 batsmen. From here, they can just sort of track at that 1-runner ball that they've sort of been doing and, yeah, sustain their run rate.
As you can see on the replay there, just really mobile, really agile, using the pace of the bowler. And Kumar now has come within reach of a 50. Wasim Jr. comes in. It is absolutely in the slot, and Kumar has said thank you very much. It smashes into the side screen. The arms are raised by the umpire. It is 6 runs.
Don't think he's worrying about those singles. He's going to go big and wasn't wasting any time getting to that 50 either. That was a big hit there. Probably the biggest of the day. If not, it was that one that almost rolled out with the sausage rolls in the canteen. Absolutely.
And that was not a junior. That was an absolute senior supersize, that one. Wasim Jr. again from the northern end. How's he going to come back after that one? This time Kumar goes whack over his head again. This time he hasn't got anywhere near the power. Hasn't timed it. And he's got a single. They've had a shy at the stumps. Potentially an overthrow, but they've decided not to. As we look at the replay here of the 6, it is hit the side screen there as you see the ball bouncing away. That is power hitting.
And I think that last ball he might have struck from the bat into the wickets at the other end. Obviously wasn't hit off a fielder, so it wasn't out there, but it just sort of ricocheted into the field from there.
Dylan has an opportunity now to cash in on the power play, which Kumar has already done so. Dylan also gives himself some room, swings hard, it goes over the top of what would normally be the slips cordon, and that is 4 runs. This is proving to be a very expensive over.
Yeah, and a good start to the power surge as well. So far, the 16 from it. It has been a little bit make or break for some teams so far. The Renegades learnt that the hard way against Pakistan a few nights ago. They did manage to recover and end up winning that one. In fact, I think it might have been the Scorchers, sorry. But here, Chicago Kingsmen making the most of it.
16 so far off the first over of the power surge. Wasim Jr. looking to exit. It is hit hard again over the fielder's head. It is going to go all the way for 4, bringing up 20 off the over. That is absolutely huge. And at the end of the 15th over, the score now is 3 for 137.
Yeah, really good use of the power play. And if you look at the last 3 overs, some quick maths going on here, but 46 from it. So they have really ramped up their run rate and looking to post a pretty big total as well.
Yeah, good numbers there, Will. And with 5 overs to go, nice easy maths times 10, another 50 runs is going to put them up. Not 200, but not far away. So they'd be eyeing that off. Anything in the high 180s, maybe 190s or beyond, is still within reach for the Chicago Kingsmen.
Yeah, and mentioned their next drop, Muhammad Hassan Khan. He's been hitting them pretty well up here in the top end T20 series so far too. So not too worried about getting into that tail end anytime soon either.
Shah is the bowler from the airport end, and unlucky for him, he has started exactly the same way as Junior at the other end. It is 4 runs, and the run feast continues.
Yeah, the 2 batsmen are in a really, really dangerous groove here. They've just found their way and looking really confident as well. I think both comfortable with how each other's going at opposite ends of the crease too, so there's not any hogging of the crease at all. They're just happy to go about their business.
Yeah, Kumar giving himself some room there. All the fielders up on the ring. Kumar again, this time he goes through the leg side. There is protection on the leg side, but it is going to be cut off, and Kumar is pretty happy to retain the strike with a 2. He's already got 6 off this over. And he is into the 60s. Still a very rare T20 100 within reach if you can really keep this going.
Yeah, need to probably get on his bike and maybe start hogging it a little bit. I don't think he necessarily will. I think, as I said, they're pretty comfortable with how each of them are going here.
He's gone hard through the leg side. And as you said, Will, team first, not trying to farm the strike. He's happy to rotate the strike to Dylan, who's also going pretty well with 32 off 20. Absolutely beautiful setting, as you can see. Magnificent partnership of 87 off 46 balls. Kumar now has the lion's share, but both players have contributed equally at times.
Yeah, absolutely. And these two put on a pretty good batting display in their game on Sunday against Adelaide Strikers as well, so not their first outing together.
Shah in again. Bit of movement in the crease there, and as a result, it has been deemed as a legal delivery. Even though it was down the leg side, it was because of the funky movement of Dylan.
Maybe a little bit cheeky there from the batsman. Still got a total he needs to build to, and maybe a little milestone in the not too distant future if he can stay alive.
Yeah, I think he's eyeing off the boundary behind square there. All the protection is deep on the leg side. There's nothing fine there. Power play has 2 balls left. Shah with a pretty good over so far. This time he is hit hard over the top. Those fielders are on the ring. It's just gone over the top of them. They are going to come back for a second. 9 off the over so far, with 1 ball to come, which ordinarily would be an expensive over, but in the power surge, you would almost take that at this stage, Will.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're making a habit of finding these rare twos as well. Just really good placement with the ball in the field. They're finding those little patches where they're not necessarily having to blaze away and be too risky, but they are able to squeeze in those 2 runs where it's appropriate to do so.
Shah in from the airport end. Swung hard, no run, and a pretty good overall. Only the boundary in the first ball, and after that, Shah has come back pretty well. After 16 overs, the Kingsmen are 3 for 146.
And 9 off that over. And yeah, that run rate has rocketed up to quite a handy figure at the moment. 3 for 146 off 16. At one stage, Steve, we were thinking they might sort of struggle, not struggle, but they might be sort of pushing to make 150. That's only 1 good hit away, 3 for 146, and their run rate up to 9.12. So well above that sort of successful 8.5 we have been seeing throughout the series. With 9, try and do a little bit more maths, but they're probably looking at about that 180 figure if they can keep a cool head.
Change of bowler at the northern end is Aziz. Coming back after his game off last game. Looked very fresh in his first spell. And he's charging in. A length delivery, but it's sat up nicely for the batter and it's been dealt with. It has gone all the way for 6. And that is a beautiful shot.
It's gone out to the donut truck. You might find it sitting just on top of one in that little little donut hole.
Might have made a second hole, you reckon, Will?
Yeah, possibly. Great strike there.
American flag flying proudly over in that area there. Haven't seen an American flag myself live at a cricket before. It's a new experience.
And a few Pakistan flags as well. That crowd slowly building, we'll say, throughout the afternoon.
Oh, that is lovely batting using the crease. As I mentioned earlier, there's not a lot of protection behind the keeper, and that has gone bang into the fence. That would have been 4 any ground.
So keeping that run rate really healthy at the moment, and the Kingsmen well on top in this game now. They just sort of bided their time in the middle, didn't rush after they lost those 3 early wickets, and yeah, looking really comfortable.
Kumar on 72 now off only 35 balls. 10 off this over so far. Aziz to Kumar. It's wide this time. It's probably good bowling. Kumar premeditated and moved to the leg side, and as a result, he's only got a single off that delivery. But he's still good going, 11 off 3 this over. It brings Dylan an opportunity to continue the scoring.
Yeah, I don't think either of them will be too phased about, particularly Dylan, 16 runs away from 50, but any milestones coming up, I think they're both happy to just do the team thing and share the load where they can. But Dylan's turn now at the crease.
Dylan still at the wicket. He swings hard. Inside edge down to fine leg for a single. Yeah, you're spot on there, Will. They seem like they've got a really good understanding, these two. They've been running between the wickets really well. Good chemistry, which is important if you're going to spend a lot of time out in the middle together.
Yeah, and you mentioned that this Kingsman side might be a little bit underrated, just given the age demographic, but perhaps that is proving, I guess, experience and maturity in this side.
Aziz in again from the northern end. A length delivery. He's made it a wide ball by moving around the crease, and they get an easy single.
Kingsman 3 for 159. And again, this over proving a little bit expensive, though not the most expensive by any means.
Aziz comes in for his final ball of his third over. It's a fuller delivery. It's very well bowled. He's fielding off his own bowling. He's kicked it into the stumps, and it's out. What an extraordinary individual performance. He's shown all skills there as a beautiful Yorker, followed up with a nice little sprint, which wouldn't look out of place at the Olympics, and then he's used some soccer skills as well to finish it off, and he's ended up with a run out. That was brilliant, Will.
Yeah, that was really good work, and I think it is Kumar on 74 who is heading into the shed. I think that was his own call as well there, so really only got himself to blame. He did try and get on his skates, but just wasn't quick enough. Take a look here. Just a little bunt. Maybe he would have made it if he went for the dive, but...
That is a very rare sight in cricket. You don't see that too often. Absolutely brilliant individual effort there, and he's jumped for joy afterwards. And fair enough too, they've got rid of the dangerous Kumar. Very well batted. He had a very big round of applause from the dugout, and well deserved.
74 off 37, a very handy knock at the moment, clubhouse leader.
Wasim Jr. has been given another go now from the airport end. Only 3 overs remaining. Already a healthy score on the board for the Kingsmen. In he comes now to Dylan. Dylan hits it ball hard and high. It's not going to go for 4, but he's got enough on it that they're going to be able to scamper back for a second run. Dylan now the senior partner with a new batter out there, Khan. $190 plus now within reach.
As we mentioned earlier, Khan, he made 22 in the first game, 39 in the second.
Dylan again, he's gone whack. He's got every piece of that. The fielder has got absolutely no chance. That has gone right out of the field of play, over the actual picket fence, into the pile of dirt. It might be tough going finding that. That is a magnificent shot, Will.
Yeah, it's almost made its way onto the 7th hole at the Marara Golf Course as well. Seen a few head out that way. Looks like Mohammed Fake's going to have to get out the Tonka truck and try and dig it up from that little dirt pile over there. But that was a fantastic 6.
Great highlight there. Batting extremely well. He knows he's got to step it up now. You can see there is all formats record with a strike rate of 125. He's gone much better than that today. This is a fuller delivery. Again, it's been hit hard straight down the ground. The fielder is chasing. He's probably going to just get there with a beautiful little slide there. Thrown in by Niazi, well fielded.
Another 2.
Dylan within reach of a 50 now. Wasim Jr. Ambling run up. This time it's a short delivery and quite well bowled. It was close enough to the batter to enable little room. Eyeing off the boundary there with no protection at a deep point. But it's a dot in the book, which has been quite rare of late. Every dot is a win at this stage, Will.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they've done enough in terms of accumulating a big total.
Wasim Jr. again. This one slides down the leg side, but again he's got away with that. Possibly a little bit of pace off. A couple of reasonable deliveries there.
With, what are we looking? 13 more runs to come. 13 more balls to come, I should say. You wonder if they're going to start having a swing. Good people at Care Flight just Dropping the chopper in at Darwin Airport behind here at DXC Arena.
Khan on strike for his first delivery. He just works the ball into the leg side very confidently. They're looking for two, and he's going to be a close call, but he's got it back there. Khan, good running. Excellent communication again. The recent fall of wickets made no change to the brilliant running between the wickets. And that is the end of the over. Wasim Jr. with the figures of 1 for 40 off 3. And after 18 overs, it is 4 for 172.
Yeah, they've really pushed that run rate now, only at 9.5. But almost since that power surge, they've just kept getting above and above that run rate to build it up. They're not really worried about slowing down anytime soon. They're in a position now where they don't need to worry about wickets as much. And I think the beauty of this T20 game is you don't need to worry as much about wickets with the deadline of that 20 over mark. Looking at the wickets there, they've just taken the 2 off bowlers, and I think they've had 2 run-outs in there.
2 overs left. Hit hard out onto the leg side. They're going to double it up again. Comfortably back for 2. Throw is wide. Score goes to 174. Definitely going to be in the 190s without losing any wickets now. Obviously, that's the key for Pakistan. They haven't had a lot of wickets in recent times, other than just the one before. If these two can take us through to the end, 200 is not out of the question.
And possibly that wicket, a little bit of misadventure on the batsman behalf rather than good efforts from the bowling side.
Shah polishing the ball at the top of his mark. This one's short. It's been slapped away to the leg side, but there's protection there, and as a result, it will just be a single. Dylan looking extremely comfortable here. Played shots all around the wicket. Very still at the crease.
Dylan on that nervous 48.
Khan on strike. Scored 2 off his first delivery. Always a bit harder to come in and score quickly straight away. Let's see how he goes. Shah bowls a very good delivery. It looks like it's swung in to the right-hander, and it is a play and miss. Possibly using the breeze to his advantage there.
Temperature just tracking up to 30 degrees now. It should build to a top of 31 this afternoon. Partly cloudy conditions expected later in the day, but this game should be well and truly done by that stage. Beautiful blue sky here at DXC Arena.
Shah into Khan. This one is a shortish ball. It looks like it's hit the toe of the bat there. And it is a dot ball.
Shah has done a lot better this over, making the most of Khan. Still just settling in and finding his feet.
He's been sitting there with the pads on for a while. It's always difficult to come out and follow a big partnership. Shah pretty happy to be bowling to a new batter. He comes in again. This one is a length delivery. It has been hit hard, it is high, and it is long. It is 6 runs, and it is just what the doctor ordered after a relatively lean start to the 19th over.
Safe to say he was pretty keen to find his feet there.
He was just in the slot there. A little bit of relief for him after not quite getting onto some of the other deliveries. And he's joined the party. You see the replay here, just in the slot. It was probably hit a little bit higher than he planned, but the fielder was never in play. And the Kingsmen carry on. This time, an attempted Yorker sprays down the leg side. They run an extra run, so that will be 2 runs to the score with the wide. Greeted with applause from the Kingsmen dugout.
Another over which was looking pretty healthy, to be honest. Is now just barreled out a little bit, and 5 of those runs have gone to sundries too. So Pakistan not helping their own cause. Shah, 0 for 34 off almost his 4 over capacity.
Dillon on strike now, within reach of a 50.
Do you reckon he goes for it here, Steve?
I think he will. Sharp bowl short. It's been hit hard, but there is a fielder out there, and as a result, it will be a little bit of an anticlimax with a single that brings him to 49, and Khan back on strike. But after what we saw with the big 6 earlier, that's probably not a bad thing. Both batters showing the capacity to score quickly now. Only 7 balls remaining, and if you wanted to set yourself a mini target as a batting team, they need 15 off 7 balls to bring up the magical 200.
They'll be going for that, I think. They've shown their capacity to do so, not only in the tournament, but in today's game. They will be absolutely going for that 200.
Shah with the last ball of his spell. It's a full ball. Oh, there's a mix-up. He's been sent back, and the throw is wide. He would have been comfortably out with a good throw. Unfortunately for the Shaheens, there is no wicket. That brings us to the end of the 19th over. And the score is 4 for 185. Meaning to get the big 200, they're going to need 15 off the last over. But either way, it's going to be a very healthy score to defend.
Yeah, absolutely. And just looking at that last ball of that over, I think as well, there was probably the single in there if they pushed for it. So a little bit of an error there, but the fielding just wasn't quite as on point as you've seen. Dillon still 1 away from his half century. Khan 8 off 5. And he showed that he can swing it pretty big when he needs to.
Potentially Dillon was thinking about the next over. He's managed to retain the strike by leaning on his bat there, and he's got an opportunity to get the big 5-0 with 6 balls to go. Wasim Jr., the bowler. He's been reasonably expensive, but the captain showed faith so far. In he comes. It's a shortish delivery. It has been hit hard. It has been hit long. The boundary riders show no interest at all because it's gone a long way into 6 runs. And it's into that pile of dirt over near the golf club again. What a great shot.
Yeah, fantastic shot. And that brings up his 50 in style now on 55. And suddenly that total of 200 is just 9 runs away.
Yeah, really well batted. Going at a really good clip, and you can see the shot there. Even though he's moving around in the crease, his head is very still, watches the ball right under the bat, and he's got full value for it. They have found the ball. They might need to get the excavator out to try and find that ball. The umpire will probably want to have a bit of a look at it, but possibly being the last over, they're not going to bother. Wasim Jr. 5 balls remaining in a relatively expensive spell as he bowls to Dillon. It's another short ball, and Dillon said, "Thank you very much, I'll take that," but in this case he's hit it to the boundary rider, and it's only a single, giving Khan an opportunity to fill his boots for the last few deliveries of this massive innings.
And regardless of what they score here, they've absolutely smashed their previous runs total. 143 they got back in game 4 against the Scorchers. Kingsmen at 192 and still 4 more balls to go.
Wasim Jr. in now to Khan. Khan just flicks it around the corner. That was very well done. Quite clever batting there. He's used the pace of the bowler, and it is 4 runs, potentially off the pad, but every run counts.
Still getting closer, Steve.
And 200 is still on the cards. Even though Pakistan Shaheens probably were hoping to chase a smaller target, they would be still confident after what they were able to do last night. It's going to be an amazing run chase.
And yeah, it's absolutely not beyond Pakistan. In that first game as well, they managed 227. So we know the power of their top order.
Wasim Jr. again. This one is sprayed down the leg side. That is a disappointing result at this stage. It's also a boundary. It has gone very, very wide. And that is bad news for the Shaheens, but it's great news for the Kingsmen. The party continues.
Another slightly climactic milestone reached there, Steve. Now up to 201 after that wide.
Yeah, it's a massive score. Certainly batter friendly here though, so it is still game on. Wasim Jr., very expensive figures now. 3.3 overs, 1 for 52. How can he exit this over? In he comes. It's a shortish ball. It's also sprayed down the leg side. Fortunately, the keeper this time has got something on it, which has prevented it from going to the boundary. He's just lost his mojo a little bit here. Just going to have to take a couple of deep breaths and try and minimise the damage.
Yeah, 1 for 54 for Wasim Jr. this afternoon is not figures that he'd look back on too fondly at all.
Wasim Jr. again. This time it's a better ball. It's a full one. It's been hit through the leg side. The boundary rider is very deep, and the Kingsmen are going to come back for 2. It's going to be a close call, but the throw wasn't quite there. Another 2 to the score. But after what we've seen so far in this over, I think Wasim would be a little bit relieved that it was just a 2 off that delivery.
Yeah, absolutely. Still needs to keep his concentration up for a few more balls, but I think he's pretty keen to get back into the shed and have a drink and then get back out and try and help his team chase down this total. 2 more to come.
Dylan on strike. He's got 58 off 36. It's been a brilliant knock. Big contributor to the 4 for 205. He's just doing a few running repairs to his gloves and pads, possibly having a little bit of a rest, get his ATP PC stores back on board. Wasim Jr., 2 balls to go. In he comes from the airport end. It's a foolish delivery. There is a big shout, and it has been given LBW. That was very well bowled by the young fella. I'm happy for him. He's had a damaging over in terms of runs, but he's been rewarded with a nice full delivery there. And Dylan is on his way after a very well compiled 58 off 37 deliveries.
Yeah, really good knock from Dylan. Not quite the same as what Milind Kumar was able to assemble, but between the two of them, they've managed about 125 runs each, or even more than that, 130 almost. Let's just take a quick look at this wicket here. Try to be a little bit creative. Just knocked him on the pads on the way through. Umpire happy to call that out. And I don't think it will matter too much, this score, a massive total they've gotten. And for Wasim Jr., I guess a little bit of joy at the end of a really disappointing couple of overs for him.
And it looks like Hamad Azam is the new batter coming in, the captain of the side. He's only going to have 1 delivery to face. And you would imagine it would be run at all costs here. It's been a team first approach from Chicago so far today. I'm sure that'll continue. And Wasim Jr., with 2 wickets now, his figures look a little bit better. He comes in for the last ball of the first innings. It's another foolish delivery, and why not? Unfortunately, this time it's been clipped to the leg side, but it is a single, bringing the Chicago Kingsmen innings to an end. It has been a highly entertaining innings with 5 wickets down for 206. Pakistan Shaheens would be a little disappointed with some of the bowling from today. The fielding was pretty good, but ultimately they are going to back themselves in after their recent form with the bat. There's been a number of highlights, 6s all round the ground. We've talked about the brilliant partnerships along the way.
Yeah, particularly that partnership from Milind Kumar and Tajinder Dhillon. It was a fantastic knock. Shayan Jahangir sort of got them on their way early with a knock of 30, but it was those 4th and 5th order batsmen who really just put the pressure on, and we thought it could be a bit of a measly total. They really made a consistent run rate. About 8 runs per over they were tracking through the middle part of that before absolutely exploding in the power surges. 18 runs in the 13th over, 20 in the 15th over, and from there they didn't really slow down at all. Some great striking there from the Kingsmen batsmen, and a really healthy team first approach from all comers as well. They weren't too worried about those individual milestones. Unfortunately, some poor calling in the middle spelt the end for Milind Kumar on 74 off 36. But then Mohammad Hassan Khan really helped out when he came in and helped Tajinder Dhillon get to his half-century knock. 5 for 206 is the total. There are the batting figures there. As you heard, Milind Kumar, the top scorer, Tajinder Dhillon, a very handy second fiddle. And for the bowlers, well, it was Mohammad Wasim Jr., the only dual wicket taker, but conceding 57 was probably just as much of a problem as those 2 wickets were a victory for him. 207 is what the Pakistan Shaheens will be chasing. We'll bring you that second innings after a short break.
Are you looking to hit your studies for 6? Make the move to Australia's Northern Territory and start a world-class partnership where your potential can glide through boundaries and you can rack up runs in places you've never imagined. Enjoy our laid-back lifestyle and help us build what's next. When this over is over, think about getting on a good wicket and consider studying in Australia's Northern Territory. Authorised by the Northern Territory Government, Darwin.
When you move here, it's not just for work, it's for life. Here, culture isn't something you leave behind. It's something you bring with you and share. Great jobs, no long commutes, and weekends that start as soon as Friday ends. From the red desert to the tropical north, this place doesn't just welcome you, it transforms you. Australia's Northern Territory. New boundaries, new territory.
Welcome back to beautiful Darwin, and we have some entertainment ahead of us. After the Chicago Kingsmen put on a great show in the first innings, the Pakistan Shaheens, every chance of chasing this down though. You would normally think 200 would be out of reach of most sides chasing second, but after what we saw last night at TIO, they're every chance of chasing this down.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really fascinating first innings. Started a little bit slow, the Chicago Kingsmen. There they are, gathering and just working out the best way to defend. A pretty handy total of 206, 207 the target for Pakistan. We know they have some firepower, which we'll go through in a second. But yeah, 206 is what the Chicago Kingsmen scored. The highlights, I guess, going with Milind Kumar. He top scored with 74. And Tajinder Dhillon, he also managed that half century. For the Pakistan side, over the last few days, they've had some really big scores as well. Let's take a quick look through some of them. In game one, they scored a total of 227. Top scorer, Yasir Khan with 62, Khawaja Nafay 61, and Abdul Samad 56. So they had the triple half century. And then last night, how about this, Steve? 110 from Abdul Samad. He backed it up, and that's, I think, the second century we've had from this top End T20 series.
Yeah, that's right, Will. As I said earlier, I was very, very fortunate to be in the commentary box when the Samad show was on. And he started off reasonably slowly, and he just went through the gears, and in the end, he was in absolutely top gear, which is why we're all very, very positive about the chances of the Pakistan Shaheens here this afternoon. And we're not very far away from the first ball.
And it looks like getting us underway. Actually, we'll have a quick look at that. It's going to be Mudassar.
On strike is Khan.
Ghulam Mudassar, who I thought, no, he's not one of the ones coming in, but he will be starting us off with the bowling.
Khan and Nafay are the two opening batters for the Shaheens.
Mudassar, 2 wickets so far in this tournament. Bowling figures of none for 39 against the Perth Scorchers and 2 for 24 against the Adelaide Strikers at TIO on Sunday morning.
Here we go, first ball of the second innings. Khan on strike. Ball is full, outside off stump, and it is also a front foot no ball, which is not the ideal start for the Chicago Kingsmen. As Mudassar does a little bit of gardening and steps out his run up. Now, even though the Pakistan Shaheens had a large total last night, they actually had a poor start to their innings, being 2 for 2. So they'll be looking to get off to a better start this afternoon. Mudassar, after bowling a front foot no ball, comes in. This one's short. It's taken off. There's good pace in this wicket. And that is a dot ball. That's better bowling from Mudassar.
Just having a quick look at the day games and night games, and those high scores haven't really discriminated. I think the two top scores so far, 231 from the Stars, that was a day game, and 227, the second top score, obviously from Pakistan earlier. Interestingly, the Kingsmen don't play a night game at all. I think Pakistan are sort of 50-50.
Mudassar comes in to Khan. It's a full delivery. It is timed well, but there is a fielder there, and they are going to go through for a single. So first run off the bat after a no ball straight up.
And being a tropical climate up here, Steve, as you can feel now, it's quite dry. My lips are quite parched as well. I'm hoping you can't tell that through the broadcast. But at night, you can get a little bit of dew over the grass as well, which can make things a little bit more slippery. And yeah, can impact, I guess, scoring and, I guess, tactics and style of cricket that we're seeing.
Nafay on strike to Madasa. This was a good length delivery, moving away from the right-hander. That's brilliant bowling. Tough ball to face straight up. Good length bowling. Power play in force, of course, with the first 4 overs. So they will be looking to be as aggressive as they possibly can at the top of the innings, considering they've got a massive total to try and chase down.
Yeah, scary to see that required run rate at 10.51.
Madasa, it's a full delivery. It's going to be cut off quite comfortably, and there is no run. Just a cautious approach here from Pakistan. Still plenty of time to go, but we are 4 balls into the first over of the power play, so they probably don't have a lot more time to find their first boundary. Madasa's bowled well, other than the first no ball straight up. Here he comes again. Nafay has liked that one. It's made a very loud sound with the bat, but it hasn't really taken off, and they trot through for 2. I'd like to have a look at that bat. That sounded interesting.
I'd love to hear the sound again. That was beautiful. Big solid crack.
We'll look forward to his next one. Hopefully he'll go a bit further. He's off the mark now, though. Conservative start here so far. Last opportunity to score a boundary in the first over. Madasa comes in. It's another length delivery. No footwork offered there, and as a result, it is a dot ball. And the Kingsmen will be pretty happy with that start. Only 4 runs to the score for the Shaheens. And they're still a long way away from the 203 they require from 114 balls. Very imposing score, but they would still have confidence, you would think, Will.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think something that the Kingsmen have up their sleeve, which Pakistan don't, is that I guess the win-loss record at the moment, Kingsmen still realistically have a loss in hand that they can take, and they're ahead in this one. Pakistan, you wonder if the pressure of them already having a loss, you don't want to go 2 losses down in a 6-game competition. They've got Adelaide and Nepal to come as well. But I wonder if that sort of ledger is going to play an impact on the mindset of each of these 2 sides today.
Yeah, great point, Will. Cougar Line is the bowler at the airport end. Right arm over the wicket. Can bowl a good pace. He comes in now. It's a foolish delivery. It's driven to the cover on the ring, and there's no run. You can hear the Kingsmen boys out there encouraging the dots, every dot, every dot. They would be trying to build the pressure early on and watching that run rate creep up higher than the already large 10.78 per over.
Yeah, absolutely great to hear the encouragement coming from the Kingsmen.
Cougar Line again. Again, it's a nice delivery, slight movement away, but it's been driven down for a single.
Cougar Line has actually scored the fastest 50 in New Zealand first class cricket in March 2025. He set a new record, achieving the milestone in just 19 balls against Otago during the Plunket Shield final in Dunedin.
Certainly a lot of nationalities represented in this Kingsman side. They're certainly not all American born and American raised. There's a good mix. They've got Sri Lankan, Pakistan, New Zealand. There's lots of diversity, and it seems to be working for them. In comes Cougar Line. It's an optimistic shot at the ball at a good length. A little bit of move off the wicket that time, a slight leg cutter. And I don't think he got too close to that one. It was a bit optimistic, but you can understand that in this mode of the game and with an intimidating target to get.
Yeah, they've started really tight, this Kingsman bowling attack.
Cougar Line, steady approach. Building up his momentum. That's hit hard, high on the pad. There's no chance for a run. Experienced campaigner, Cougar Line. He's still only 30, I think, so he's still got a lot of good cricket ahead of him. Fast bowlers often come into their prime in their early 30s, unlike a lot of sports. As long as you can work well with the strength and conditioning team and do your recovery, he's got a good 5, 6, 7 years of competitive bowling left in him. Cougar Line comes in. It has been sweetly hit, but straight to the fielder. The Kingsmen are delighted. Pakistan have lost their first wicket. It is Nafay, and that is a great start for the Kingsmen.
Straight down the throat there of Hamad Azam and bowling off Scott Kugelline. As you said, that is going to be very handy. Now we know that Pakistan have a few big hitters in their lineup, but they don't want to get rid of one of them as quickly as they do there, particularly when they're chasing the double ton. And they still have more than 200 of those runs to whittle down.
Yes, that's right. Comfortable catch there from Azam. But the good news for Pakistan is the man of the moment, Abdul Samad, is walking out to the crease after his heroics last night at TIO Stadium. And if he can continue on in that vein, they're going to go very close here. Hopefully he hasn't pulled up too sore. He probably had a couple of ice baths and some recovery last night, hopefully. The Pakistan Shaheens would be desperately keen for him to repeat the dose.
Yeah, speaking of double tons, he would absolutely love to grab a second century today, following on from his 100 last night. Plenty of work to do, though.
Abdul Samad, Mark Senna. The main actors here. Cougar Line at the top of his mark. A good length delivery, and Samad watchfully knocks it down. It brings it to the end of the first over from Cougar Line. He would be delighted with 1 for 1 off his first over. Pakistan in early trouble at 1 for 5, but as I said earlier, yesterday they were 2 for 2, so it's an improvement on that, although it's not the ideal start. But with Samad out here, their chances increase dramatically.
Yeah, absolutely. They just need to, I guess, keep a little bit grounded here. Maybe they do need to ease into a little bit slower than you'd like, and then once they have built that foundation, smash off from there. But nervous few overs coming up. That one is poked out. That will be their first boundary of the day off Mudasar, and it will go to Yasir Khan.
Yeah, it looked like a length delivery there, but he's thrown the arms at it. It is comfortably gone to the boundary because of the explosion of the arms, and they've got a good result. Doesn't really matter how they come. Early runs are going to be very important with the power play. Madasa from the northern end. Again, it's tried to be a length delivery, but he's picked it up very well. It's gone over the mid-on fielder for 4 runs. Back-to-back boundaries for Pakistan.
Well, Steve Nicol, maybe it just took them 2 nervous overs to get going, but back-to-back boundaries shows, fair bit of confidence, and I think that one might have been a no ball as well.
That certainly helps. So 8 runs off 1 ball in this over, effectively. An opportunity to get a big over. Pakistan Shaheens after losing an early wicket. Madasa. This time it's a shortish delivery, and it has been absolutely dealt with. It has gone for 4. The Pakistan crowd have rocked in good numbers now after their sleep in this morning, and they are in great voice. And fair enough too.
Looks like the men out in the middle are here to prove some doubters wrong as well. Really good response after the early wicket in the last over.
Madasa under pressure here. This time Khan rocks forward on the front foot. There's enough pace on it to give the boundary rider enough time to come in and keep it to a single. And Samad is on strike. Only faced the one delivery so far. I'd imagine he will take a few balls to get himself in, just looking at the way he batted last night. Even though his run rate was exceptional in the end, he did take a little while to get himself going. Madasa, and as expected, right in behind it, a beautiful technique from Samad. Looks like he would be an outstanding four-day cricketer as well. He's got the complete package.
Yeah, as I said, looks really happy with his first two deliveries so far. Just to ease into it, nothing too silly at this stage.
Madasa, after a reasonably tight first over, is getting a bit of stick here. Looking to exit. It is straight onto the leg side, and you can't bowl that in this mode of the game, but fortunately there's a fielder out there and they trot through for two. Samad is off zero. He'd be relieved about that. Even being confident after last night, you'd like to get your first runs.
Yeah, and with a little bit more carry, that one could have made it the fourth boundary from the over as well. They're really just taking Mudasar to town at the moment.
Looks like we're going to make a change to the field. The third man has come into the ring. And all the protection on the leg side now. And that is a very nice delivery. If you can beat the bat of Samad like that, then you're going all right. It was a very nice delivery, leaving the right hand up. And it's a great finish to the over, although an expensive one. Madasa now has 2 overs, none for 20. And Pakistan are 1 for 21 after 3 overs.
Yeah, 16 off that over. As you said, Madasa, none for 20. That got a little bit expensive in the end, but that run rate, well, it's still tracking a little bit behind where the Kingsmen were at the same stage. And the required run rate, I always stumble over that little tongue twister, Steve, is still at above 10. So a little bit more work to do, but they are looking a lot more settled out there and a lot earlier than the Kingsmen were at the same time.
Only one run off the first over of the Kiwi. Here he comes again. Again, a great area, getting the outside edge down to third man for a single. Brings Samad back on strike. Khan just giving a little bit of advice to his teammate there, just indicating that the ball was moving around a little bit. Cougarline has made a very bright start to this innings, bowling some really good consistent areas. Comes in again from the airport end.
Oh,
a little bit straighter, but potentially sliding down the leg side. A few of the Kingsmen interested in a shout, but Cougarline had no interest at all.
Neither did the umpire.
Yes.
Very quick shake of the head.
100 balls left exactly, 185 to go to pull off a, some would say, unlikely victory, but I'm still giving them a chance, the Shaheens. Cougarline drops this one short. There is a fielder out there. He's coming in and he's got there nice and early and he's taken a nice comfortable catch. Chicago Kingsmen are delighted. Cougarline's got his second wicket and they've picked up the extremely important wicket of Samad, which is a huge dent to the Shaheens' chances.
Yeah, that is a massive wicket. We know the top 3 batters for Pakistan are their 3 power hitters, the 3, I guess it's a triple threat, a 3-headed monster, if you will, at the top of that order. And now 2 of them are gone, which means it is somewhat up to Yasir Khan to try and either find another partner to bat with or do a lot of the heavy lifting himself.
As we see the replay there, probably wasn't Kugelein's best ball, but he had the protection there, so he's bowling to his field, and he's got the very important wicket there of Samad. So it's going to have to be up to somebody else, which is probably good for the long-term development of this squad. You don't want to be relying on one player.
And it will be Mohammed Fake coming in. He has scored tally so far of 18 off 10 against Bangladesh, 21 off 23 against the Perth Scorchers, and last night 21 off 18 against the Melbourne Renegades. Another handy 20 would be good. Double it and even better.
Yeah, he's going to have to at least double it and probably increase his strike rate as well. But it is batter friendly out here, so he's every chance to do so. Kugelein has a different view. He's at the top of his mark now. And that is absolutely beautiful delivery. A shout from behind the wicket. Again, Kugelein not interested. Get the impression he's only going to appeal if he thinks it's out. And a pretty good delivery to face first up there, Will.
Yeah, absolutely. Kugelein has not really put a foot wrong so far. He's already got 2 for, only conceded the 2 runs. And it doesn't look like he's stopping anytime soon either.
Kugelein again. Another length delivery. He hasn't got a hold of it. It is just popped in an unusual spot. You don't see it go there very often. Just straight down the wicket and no run.
Magnificent bowling from Kugelein.
I'm getting Sean Pollock vibes from Kugelein. He's sort of got a similar sort of bowling style. Compliment to him, of course. Comes in now, another length delivery. This one's a little bit further down on the sort of the hip area. It's been well worked into the leg side, and they'll pick up 2 runs. So Feek is off the mark. And that brings us to the end of another very good over from Kugelein. He has 2 overs, 2 for 4. And Pakistan in early trouble now at 2 for 24 off 4 overs.
Yeah, really good start from Scott Kugelein in particular, but also from the Kingsmen, the Pakistan Shaheens. Here's their bowling attack. Wasim Jr., he was the most damaging in terms of wicket score, but also quite expensive, conceding 57 runs. Otherwise, you're probably looking at Mars Sadakat, just the 2 overs, but conceded 17 off it.
Yeah, certainly all the bowlers were struggling in terms of economy rate. There was no one that was able to bowl as tight as what Kugelein has shown so far. Often they're changing the bowling around a fair bit in this tournament, but I think with Kugelein bowling the way he is, I would keep him going. It'll be interesting to see what they do at this airport end next over. Whether they give Kugelein a rest and save him for later, or whether they continue him on.
Looks like it'll be Ehsan Adil coming in, and he is one of the changes into today's lineup, coming in for Asif Mahmood.
He tries to bowl the Kugelein length. It is spat out to the offside down to 3rd man. It's enough pace off that they've scampered through, had to dive, but they've managed to get 2 runs. A very welcome, and there's also a no ball, meaning it is going to be a front foot no ball and a free hit. Second time from that end we've had a no ball on the first over. Not sure whether there's something in that. Probably just a coincidence. Now the Pakistani side has an opportunity to fill their boots.
Yeah, and it's moments like this where you definitely feel like Kugelein is putting them on top, that the Kingsmen don't just want to easily let Pakistan back into the game. They want to make sure they're keeping really tight bowling here. Even if they're not necessarily taking wickets, they're just taking a bit of edge off the game.
Swings hard, but because the power play is over, there is protection there, and it's just a single in this case. Score to 2 for 28. And effectively the first ball of the over.
Hassan Adil, straight from the under-19s to international cricket. He earned his national call-up in 2012, just a year into his first-class career. Impressively on Test debut against South Africa. Played for Pakistan from 2013 to 2015 in all formats. He's also featured for Lahore Qalandars in the PSL and joined MI New York in the Major League Cricket from 2023 onwards.
Adil in now. Oh, he's bowled him. Even the bowler looks surprised there. He's on his way. Didn't look like it got up as much as everyone expected to, because it was a relatively shortish length, and it's just clipped the top of off bail. And Feek is on his way.
And I'm not going to lie, Steve, did not expect that after how his first two balls went. And even with the one that struck the wickets, it just seemed...
So we watch the replay now. Let's see if it does anything. It just potentially stayed a little bit lower than everyone thought from that length. It was probably a little bit quicker as well. And Pakistan now in a bit more trouble.
And the scorecard will give him a wicket nonetheless. Doesn't matter how you get him, as long as you get him. And end of the day, clean bowled, that's a pretty good one. He'd be very happy with that in his first over. I think that might be of the tournament as well for Hassan Adil.
He looks pretty raw, Adil. Done a bit of work with fast bowling in my time, and he probably just needs to tighten up his approach a little bit. A little bit wayward in his approach in terms of his run-up, his arms, but he's certainly got a lot of potential, a lot to work with. Cougar line at the other end could probably help him out as an experienced campaigner from the Fast Bowlers Club. Sadiquat is the new bat. And Adil has the impressive figures of 1 for 4, although he's only bowled a 2 deliveries so far with the no ball straight up. Here he comes with his tail up. And that's a beautiful delivery. Very rare to have a catch in slip, and he's going to be on a hat trick. The Chicago Kingsmen are absolutely delighted. That was quicker again. He's really warming up now.
Absolutely, he is. Here could be a little bit of history for you, Steve. 2 in a row. As I said, I think that might be his first wickets of the tournament.
And now he's on a hat trick. There's been a few guys on hat tricks in the tournament so far, but we haven't seen one yet. He could be the first one in this T20 Top End Series. Let's have a look at the replay. A beautiful length moving away, no footwork there. He didn't really give himself a lot of assistance. Needed to get back and across, or otherwise potentially leave it alone. But in this mode of the game, not too many boys are going to be leaving it alone. So he needed to actually get something in behind it. And as a result, the Kingsmen are well on top early, runs on the board and early wickets.
Great celebration there from Hamad Azam and Hassan Adil. His second in 2 balls. How exciting is this?
4 for 28 off 4.3 overs. The run rate required blowing out on the way to 12 now. Not a lot of change to the field. Showing that they're still team first. But I'm sure he will be looking to bring the slip in play again. Here he comes. Oh, it's a foolish delivery. Gave himself a chance. It's not going to be a hat trick. It's a single. But he would still be delighted with the way he has come back from that first ball, which was a no ball.
It's licking my lips, Steve. That was looking good for a second there. Still 2 wickets in an over. Very happy with that. You think Adil would be.
Yeah, sometimes the moment can get to guys when they're on hat tricks and they end up bowling the worst ball of the day, trying too hard, but in that case he gave himself a chance. Full and straight, bringing in bowled, LB, caught and ended up getting an edge, but no hat trick today. Here he comes again, Adil. Khan, who's been out there for a while now, starting to look pretty comfortable. A lot of responsibility on his shoulders now. So Khan's in the dilemma now that he's got to work out what he does. He's got to have to try and continue to bat for at least 10 or 12 overs into this innings, but at the same time he needs to score at a very fast run rate as well. So it's going to be a balancing act for him. Adil, last ball of his very entertaining first over. It's a good area. Just watchfully played by Khan. And at the end of his first over, he's ended up with 2 for 5, Adil. The score goes to 4 for 29 off 5 overs. For Pakistan, Shaheens.
Yeah, very good over from the Kingsmen and a very good start. They've conceded 16 in that third over, and apart from that, they're not looking at much at all. Just 13 they've conceded from the other 4 overs at a little bit over 3, that run rate. 178 still required, and looking at the Manhattan, well behind the average that was set for them by the Kingsmen, bar that 16 in that third over. 2 wickets as well, and they've dropped a few early. So too did Pakistan when it was their turn to bowl as well. Niazi now coming in to face his second ball. He's off the mark.
There is a change of bowler at the airport end. Cougar line going to be saved for later. Watchfully played, no run. First ball for Azam for the afternoon.
16 international games for Pakistan he has played. So coming up against the old friendly mob. Moved to the US, joining Major League Cricket.
Yeah, well bowled by Azam. Managed to get the edge, but it's trickled down to third man for a single. Fantastic having some international experience in the side, Will.
Yeah, absolutely. It's probably an underrated part of this Kingsman side, and I think even for those not following closely, you think, what's a team like Chicago going to do in a cricket tournament? But they have looked very, very consistent over the 2.5 games they've played so far.
Here he comes again. This is a slower delivery outside off stump. It's been watchfully hit down the ground for a single. Looking like they're happy to consolidate a little bit for now with 4 wickets already in the shed.
And that man Hazan, he has played for a number of clubs over in the Major League Cricket competition. First class average of 35 with nearly 200 wickets demonstrates his value across all formats of the game.
Here he is again. Off stump line. Third man pretty busy at the moment. He's happy just to gently throw the ball back in for an easy single. Chicago well in control of this game at the moment. They'd be happy to deal in singles for now.
Yeah, absolutely. Singles won't make that run rate any more favourable for Pakistan. And look, it is a bit of a conundrum for them, as you said. What do? Do they try and chip away early at that total and risk wickets, or do they just slowly get back onto their feet?
Azam to Khan, good solid shot straight down the ground for a single. He looks very comfortable at the wicket, so he's probably got the capacity to accelerate soon.
And won't just be up to Yasir Khan. Niazi, he's scored 25 in that first innings off 12 balls, 8 from 12 in the second game against the Scorchers, and 23 from 23 in that third game last night against the Renegades. Again, whatever he scores, he'd want to do it off less balls though.
Azam again looking at that length bowling, a little bit of movement away from the right-hander. Brings us to the end of the over. It's quite a tidy one from Azam. Only 4 from it. 4 singles. Kingsman would be happy with that over.
Yeah, really impressive bowling early days from this Kingsman attack. Taking a look at it now, already 2 players have 2 wickets. Scott Kugelheim and Ihsan Adil. Particularly Kugelheim, he's just conceded the 4 runs as well from his 2 overs. But even Hamad Azam, that over there, he conceded just 4 runs. And Mudassar, while he did concede 16 overs in that second of his, a very, very tight opening over of 4 runs means that they have a really good set of bowlers who they can help restrict and suffocate this Pakistan side with the bat.
Niazi on strike now. Nice little line there. It has been fumbled by the keeper and he's not very happy with himself. He's thrown a very grumpy ball away, has Jahinga. Disappointed in himself, but that's okay. No damage done. Kingsmen well on top here at 4 for 34. It looks like there's going to be a change to the field. Man coming in from the leg side to slip, and why wouldn't you after that last over? Adil 2 for 5, early stages of his spell. It's on the hip of Niazi. He's been called through. He's going to be in a bit of danger, and he has hit the stumps, but he's just got home. Sharp bit of fielding there. Kingsmen are really switched on, Will.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think they're looking any time at pulling the foot off the accelerator. They might even be eyeing an early finish the way that they're pulling wickets at the moment. 4 for 35 at the moment. It wasn't until the 17th over when Pakistan took their 4th wicket. So, as you've heard, really, really strong bowling attack for this afternoon's game.
Position at deep third man comes a little bit finer. Adil now top of his mark. Here he comes. Again, the length delivery. Khan rocks back onto the back foot and watchfully plays it into the deck. Run rate climbing all the time. Something's going to have to change here. They can't keep going like this. They're going to have to elevate the run rate. Kingsman doing a great job though with the ball. Here comes Adil again. Oh, again, just short of a length outside off stuff, but it's been snicked through the old French cut, and it's gone for 4. They'll take every run they can get, though, at the moment, the Shaheens. Very handy boundary.
Yeah, absolutely. They'll be really happy with that, and maybe that'll be something that they can build some momentum off. It does feel like they're building to a little bit of a circuit breaker, and eventually something's going to happen. Will it be an over of boundaries, or will it be another wicket falling? They're going to have to start hitting the Kingsmen with some runs.
They do have the power surge up their sleeve at some stage. Be interesting to see what they do with that. Here comes Adil now. This is a very short ball, indeed too short. It's been called a wide by the square leg and the central umpire. Don't mind him mixing up his bowling though, it's still good to test him out. Plenty of runs to play with.
Yeah, and for the Kingsman side, this probably does provide a bit of an opportunity for them to maybe trial a few different things. You don't want to let things slip too easy, as I said before, unnecessarily let Pakistan back into the game.
Pace off there from Adil. Khan is onto it though and punches it in for a single.
But in such a short format competition, if you get opportunities like this, you probably do want to take them to use the personnel you've got on the field and try a few different things from time to time. And maybe that's what Adil is doing here.
Yeah, you're right on the money, Will. It's a bit of a combination of the competitive juices and trying to win every game, but at the same time giving exposure to lots of different players in lots of different situations. Adil in now. Very controlled shot down to third man for a easy single. We've seen all the captains, as I said earlier, rotating the bowling, changing the batting lineups, giving people exposure to different spots. Some of the openers have had a go. Sam Harper from the Renegades batted at 6 the other day, giving some younger players in their academy squads the opportunity to bat in the top 3. So it's a great opportunity for all the teams to develop their young up-and-coming stars.
Yeah, absolutely. And thought today, just the way they started, we might see a change there. We might have seen Kugelheim go for a little bit longer. Obviously, he had a ripping opening 2 overs, but they've decided to put him back in the shed. They'll pull him out later. I have absolutely no doubt about that. But yeah, it looks like we will have another fresh bowler. Here it will be, and I think it will be Muhammad Hassan Khan.
Left arm orthodox is his go-to method. First one looked like a little bit of a loosen up, and it's been punched into the leg side for a single by Niazi. Bringing Khan back on strike.
Can you shut up?
Khan going very well, 26 off 20. As I said earlier, needs to find another gear if they're going to have any chance in this game. Watchfully punches it into the leg side for another single. Bringing Niazi back on strike, who's also going close to a runner ball. Looking more comfortable at the crease. One big partnership away from getting himself back in this game. Khan sliding onto the pads there, well played by Niazi.
Niazi also the captain of this side, so you'd think he'd be wanting to put his leadership on display. This is an opportunity for that to shine as well.
As he dances down the wicket, that is a beautiful shot. Absolutely magnificent timing. Crashes into the fence. Kugelheim picks the ball up. He had no chance of getting that one. Bowled very well before Kugelheim.
And doing it in the field as well.
Punched into the leg side for a single. So happy just doing it in 1s and 2s at the moment. They're going to have to step things up and find the boundary soon.
Yeah, just looking at the scoreboard briefly before, 207 is still the target. It's not getting any smaller.
Hit hard to the cover fielder on the ring. That brings it to the end of the over. 7 off it from Khan. And after 8 overs, the score is 4 for 49.
Yeah, approaching that halfway mark. They haven't even mustered up a quarter of that total score. So there is a lot of work to do. Though they're not too far off the pace. At the same time, the Kingsmen were 3 for 59. So an extra wicket in hand, but 10 more runs. It was really in that power surge where they picked up that deficit. It just doesn't quite feel like the same innings though here with the Pakistan Shaheens. They already feel a little bit like they've got their back against the wall and they're just trying to stop the bleeding at the moment.
Yeah, they're going to have to match that partnership that comes up at this stage of the innings that Chicago were able to put on. So at least it shows there is a template, it can be done, but it's going to take some brilliant batting to follow that worm that we just saw on screen. Dances down the wicket, hit hard, there is protection straight, so it is just going to be a single to Niazi. Azam had a tidy first over. Foolish ball, Yorker length, and it's been dug out by Khan for a single. Chicago Kingsmen in full voice, all happy with the singles and the dots. Azam again, economical bowling so far. This one's a little bit wider, giving the batsman a chance to smash it through the offside for 4. That's just what the doctor ordered. Niazi hits a boundary, takes him on to 16 off 13 balls.
Now he's building his run rate up to more than a run a ball.
So this could be the partnership we've been waiting for. They've both been out there for a while. Azam comes in. It's a foolish ball. It's played well.
And you think that you're going to see something in these next sort of 5 overs as to if this partnership can build up into something competitive, or if perhaps it's just going to be a game of counting down those balls. Just the one boundary line off each of the last 3 overs.
Foolish delivery, another French cut. It's going to head towards the boundary. It's got some pace on it, and it's going to beat the fielder there.
So there comes their second boundary of the over. Maybe this is the start of that partnership. As you mentioned before, that was the blueprint set before them by Tajinder Dhillon and Milind Kumar. That partnership, more than 50 runs, and already this pair have been going since the 5th over, and at least 20 runs they've scored together.
This one's another length delivery, leg stump line, and it's been whacked out onto the leg side for an easy single.
Looking at that run rate required though as well, that is a bit of a scary proposition. 13.27 required, currently tracking at just 6.78. So, yeah, not an easy task ahead of him, Steve.
It's certainly not. A free hit will help though. No ball has been called. Field cannot change. At the moment there is no protection behind the wicketkeeper if he wants to get funky. Let's see what we've got here. It's a full toss and it is absolutely whacked. It is going well over the pavilion onto the roof, and it is a massive 6, probably the biggest one we've seen today, Will.
Yeah, that is an absolutely massive 6. I was going to say get the ladder out and jump on the roof, Steve, but it's gone even further than that. I think it's gone to the kids' playground out behind the Pint Club. That is a massive, massive 6, and I said maybe this next 5 overs is going to be telling in terms of if Pakistan are going to bring their game. Already we might have seen it, and yeah, that was just a huge sign of things to come, I think.
Yeah, they were waiting for the big over, and that was the one. Free hit on play, and you cannot ask for anything more. That's more of a they are from Chicago. It was more like a baseball pitch, and it has been hit for a home run. 6 runs to the Pakistan Shaheens. Chicago, unfortunately, going baseball style there.
And the fans are very happy to go and collect that ball as well, I think, especially coming off the bat of the Pakistan batters.
Yeah, went right over the Pakistan crowd's head.
$19 off that over, very good return. And now coming into the bowling attack.
Khan again, drops short, whacked through deep on the onside, fairly straight for a single. Only had 6 off his first over. It is now Khan v Khan. No relation, I assume. Drop short. No run. They probably could have nearly snuck through for a single there. Conservative approach. Would have been a close call, but when you've already got 4 wickets down, probably don't need to run out at this stage. Just starting to get some momentum. Khan comes in, pushes it through for a single. Just sensing a momentum swing here, which is encouraging for a spectator at the ground, particularly the Pakistanis. This one's been clipped out to the leg side.
And the noise and the chatter from the Kingsmen has sort of dropped off a little bit as well. That first, probably 4 overs, they were really chatting up and about. And then when that double wicket fell in the 5th over as well, really up and about, that has dropped off, and maybe that is a sign of the momentum change as well.
Khan in again, and he's got him, he's bowled him, gives it a fist pump. He's absolutely delighted. Just as the Shaheens were starting to get some momentum back, they've picked up another wicket. The Kingsmen, Pakistan now 5 for 71, nearing the halfway mark of their innings. A long way away from the 207. And the Kingsmen are jubilant.
Yeah, just as you thought Pakistan were gaining some momentum, bang, wicket tumbles and back to the drawing board. Yasir Khan is still building something. It doesn't quite look like he's running out of partners just yet, but that could change. Coming in now, it will be Saad Masood, who he had a rough trot towards the end of that bowling innings, if I'm not mistaken.
So you saw from the replay from the side angle there, he danced down the wicket. He didn't get to the pitch of the ball. He was trying to hit a horizontal bat shot. All those combinations don't work, and as a result, the stumps have been knocked over.
Not all is just lost yet, Steve, in that game against the Perth Scorchers, game number 8 on Saturday. It was a 2-wicket loss, but Saad Masood, he managed 42 runs off 32 balls, so can hit them, and at a relative pace as well.
Yeah, he's certainly more than capable. He can make himself a hero here now as he faces Khan, and beautifully played. Eyes right over the top of the ball. As it says in the coaching manual, it brings it to the end of the over. A productive one for the Shaheens, and Khan has 1 for 10 off his 2 overs, and we are now at the halfway mark with Pakistan 5 for 71.
And despite those figures, 5 for 71, they're only 4 runs behind where the Kingsmen were at the same stage. So that 9th over has really helped balance things out. 19 runs they got off it. That is the most they've got so far this innings, and just 1 short of the total that was attained in that 15th over 20. They also got 21 in the 20th over. But yes, that partnership, we thought that was going to be the one that was going to maybe bring this game back to an even ledger. Wasn't to be. It was broken with the 5th ball of that over, and now they have to start from the bottom again. Yasir Khan and Saad Masood. There is an opportunity here though. Let's see if they can take it.
Yasir on strike, comfortably paddles it through the leg side for a single.
Ghulam Madasar back into the attack. He conceded just 4 off his first over, the first over of this innings. So sounds like maybe they're going to try and squeeze a bit of pressure out and keep him to a low tally at the moment.
Yeah, 2 contrasting overs from him so far. He's going to be hoping for the good one. Certainly more than capable. In he comes now. Short of a length and watchfully played. Again, a beautiful technique on show. So they're nearly going to have to double the run rate that they're getting at the moment to be any chance of winning this game. WinViz would probably have the Kingsmen strong favourites at the moment.
You'd think it'd be up at maybe 70 to 80 at least.
In he comes, left arm over the wicket. He gives himself some room. It's just over the head of the mid-off fielder. It was a pretty good effort. It's gone for 4 though, and a much needed boundary for Pakistan.
That would have really butted out any flame left in this Pakistan side, but they live to fight another day, and even better, they get 4 runs for their troubles.
Yeah, Masood just got enough on that. It could have been a duck, but fortunately for him, he just got enough of it. And he's got his first boundary off his 3rd ball. Madasa, false start as he wanders back to his mark. Didn't quite get his footwork going how he'd like to. Take 2, here he comes to Masood. Masood is in behind, gets it past, but no run. Throw is precariously close to the non-striker, apology given. And a handshake, everything is well. Bit of spirit of cricket there. And as we look at that most recent boundary, just over the top, freeze frame there, showing how athletic he is.
Kept pushing along for a 4 as well, a much needed one too, just to try and reset this Pakistan side. They've sort of been threatening to get back in the game all afternoon.
Madasa again is pulled away, and it is taken. What a great catch. It was hit hard, it was hit flat, and it has been taken in the outfield. The Kingsmen continue on their merry way, picking up their 6th wicket. Masood has to go. After hitting a boundary, he is now on his way. And so the chances of the Pakistan Shaheens are fading away, but they still have a chance.
Yes, they do. Mudasar picks up his first wicket, and in the first over he conceded 4 runs. The second he conceded 16, so you're wondering which one he was going to bring in this 11th over, and it was the good. It was the strong bowling, conceded just 5 runs, and then a wicket, an important wicket, and that is probably starting to get this Pakistan side into their tail end. Coming in now, it'll be Shahid Aziz. And this, I think, will be the first time that he has faced balls in this competition so far.
Madasa got his back up now after that brilliant catch in the outfield to get him his first wicket.
I stand corrected. He managed 5 off 9 in that second game against the Perth Scorchers, but he'll need considerably more than that off a much better strike rate to help assist Yasir Khan in bringing this total down.
Last ball of the Madasa over to the new batter Aziz. And Aziz, a nice confident drive to mid-off for no run, but a positive start. And that is the end of the over. Score after 11 overs for the Pakistan Shaheens is 6 for 76.
131 runs required from 54, and already that is looking dire for the Shaheens. Not a lot of time to do it. The run rate currently tracking a little bit better than you'd think given the way it's all fallen apart. 6.91, but required is almost up to 15 now. They almost need to triple their efforts at the moment. And only one real pure batsman left in the side. Facing the ball now.
Hassan Khan throws it up. He's worked away into the leg side for a single, meaning the new batter Aziz is going to face his second delivery. Takes centre.
Khan off 2 overs. He's conceded 10 runs and he's already taken 1 wicket for the afternoon.
Sliding down the leg side, but Aziz helps him out by getting his leg in the way, making it a dot ball. Tidy over so far. This time he's out the offside. He's paddled it around the corner. Could be 2 runs on. It's going to be cut off. They're even considering a rare 3 on this ground, and that's very good running. It was good batting, just pace off, just enough to get into the open spaces, and a much needed 3 to the Shaheens scoreline.
Yeah, not giving up just yet at all. Efforts like that shows that they're still focused on trying to bring down this total and get some points for their troubles.
Can't drop short this time as he's worked away to long on for a single. Still plenty of enthusiasm out there from the Kingsmen. They're having a great time. In comes Khan again. This time it's flighted. A little bit of pace off there, and he's worked down to long on again for a single.
Aziz off the mark already. 4 off his 4 balls so far. So he too putting the effort and not giving up, putting on a brave face at the moment.
Khan doesn't quite get in behind that one. That will bring the end of the over for Khan of the bowling variety. He has 3 overs, 1 for 16. And that is another tidy over there.
6 for 82, 125 required from 48 balls. And the Kingsmen look well on their way to a 3rd victory, but looking at that score there, and midway through that 9th over, they even got up above the run rate that the Kingsmen had been tracking at. So the blueprint is still there ahead of them. Now it's probably a question of, do they have the manpower still to get them there? From here, the Kingsmen drops just 2 wickets. And Pakistan Shaheens, they've already dropped more wickets than the Kingsmen did, their counterparts did, for their entire innings.
That's shout. And it is given not out, possibly struck outside the line of off stump. It looked like it may have hit the stumps, but the ball needs to hit in line, of course. Promising start from yet another Khan.
Umair Khan this time.
In he comes. Another well-flighted delivery. Fields off his own bowling.
Umpire thought about that first one for a second, but ultimately Aziz lives to fight another day.
Aziz swings hard this time. There is protection out there, so they're only going to get a single. Bringing the Shaheens Khan on strike. He's now tracking along at 38 off 31 and has the responsibility of getting his side close. He's swung hard here and he's been knocked over, much to the delight of all the Kingsmen who have been up and about for a while now. Pakistan in all sorts of trouble now.
Another one bites the dust, and Umair Khan yet to concede, or he's conceded the 1 run. He's also got 1 wicket. His 2nd game today. He took 1 for 9 in Sunday's game as well. So very tidy bowling for the entire tournament.
7 down now as we watch the replay. He was trying to swing very hard, didn't get a piece of it at all, and it's knocked over his stumps. Another replay here from the side on angle. Very well bowled. And they're in all sorts of trouble now. It's getting to the stage now where winning the game is probably looking beyond reach. We had a similar conversation last night at TIO with the chasing team being the Renegades, and at this stage you start thinking, can we still win? And if we can't, we just need to get the most out as we possibly can, as we see WinViz there agreeing with 99% for the Kingsmen and the miracle with Pakistan at 1%.
Yeah, the mathematics is still there. But you just feel like with the manpower they've got, it's probably too hard a task. And can the tail enders muster up another 130, 140 runs. I'm not sure if they can.
Wasim Jr. is the new batter. He swings hard just outside off stump. Well taken by the keeper for a dot ball. It brings to the end a very productive over for Khan. 1 for 1 in his first over. Swinging the game well and truly in favour of the Pakistan Shaheens. Still a couple of overs in hand for some of their experienced bowlers as well.
Looking forward to seeing Scotty Kugelheim. Is that what we went with, Steve?
Yes, Kugelheim, spot on
Kugelheim.
there, the Kiwi. He bowled very well. You can probably hear us from where he is on the boundary there as we compliment him. A swing and a miss out in the middle.
Kugelheim's figures so far, 2 wickets and just 4 runs conceded. Very handy and really helped set up this Kingsman bowling attack.
He does indeed look like he's stretching, warming up, ready to go. This one is paddled down field to mid-on for a single, which is not going to be anywhere near enough. But as we said, they might have some short-term goals that they're going to try and achieve, potentially getting some exposure to their lower order. Some of these guys might not have had a hit in the tournament so far, or certainly not spent a lot of time out there, so there's still gains to be made as Khan comes in, and he's very much in control here.
Khan has also had pretty tidy bowling today. This will be his 4th over. So far he's conceded 7, 3 and 6.
Khan again on the pads. He doesn't appeal. Gets a bit of support from behind the wicket, but no interest from the bowler as they scamper through for a leg bye. Another tidy over. This time he throws it up a little bit more. He's gone big. Kugelheim's come around. He's underneath it and he's put it down, and it's actually gone for 6. A tough chance there for Kugelheim, who bowled very well earlier. The Kingsmen still well on top here.
And good teamwork there from Tajinder Dillon there, just getting around his teammate and saying, look, don't worry about it. That's one error there, and otherwise a pretty good team effort here.
This one dropped short. It's paddled again. We've seen this shot a bit today for an easy single as they trot through a productive over again from a bowling point of view with Khan. The big 6 probably a little bit unlucky, could have easily ended up with a wicket there. As we see a replay, nicely flighted. As a bowler, you'd be pretty happy with that result, but unfortunately the catch went down. It was a difficult one. After 14 overs, Pakistan Shaheens are 7 for 92, and the run rate required now is 19.17. Oh, well bowled from Khan there. Playing a miss outside the off. Aziz has been out for 11 deliveries and he's still finding it hard to read Khan. This time he's gone the reverse. That is a beautiful shot. It's got a fair bit of pace on it, a diving effort, but it's gone for 4. The run rate is boosted a little bit. I don't think it's going to go beyond the 1% win viz, but at least they are now giving it a crack.
And keep in mind, I believe they still have their power surge in order, so who knows, we could see game over in 3 balls, or you could see one of those rare overs where you get 6 boundaries.
Dances down the wicket. There's no one down there, so it's going to be runs. And it has gone all the way for a 6. An absolute flurry of runs here from the Shaheens. They're not giving this game up.
10 runs already from this over. This could bring things back in order. They have fallen a little bit behind the pace at the same time. Kingsmen had already gotten up to about 137.
Khan now to Aziz. This time he's rocks onto the back foot Ball was a little bit quicker, and it is a dot ball. A bit of a relief for the Kingsmen, even though they're still well in control of this game. Can't again drop short. Probably conservative here, not throwing him up now after being hit for the big 6 earlier. Happy to take the singles. Wasim Jr. yet to get off the mark from his 4 deliveries. He needs to join the party. This time, unconvincingly, he snicks it down to a short third man, but they'll get a single. It means that Wasim Jr. will retain the strike, which is not ideal. With only 5 overs remaining, they're stuck on 7 for 104.
And yeah, it seems like it might be just a little bit too much. They still require more than 100 runs from the last 30 balls. The run rate currently at 6.93. And the biggest attempt was put in there by Yasir Khan. He travelled through probably about 6 of his teammates there. In fact, I think he's partnered with everyone except for Muhammad Wasim Jr., who's just come in the last 5 balls. Otherwise, Shaheed Aziz, he's doing pretty well coming in where he has, and probably their best chance at the moment to try and make a dent. Look, it's looking like this will be the 2nd loss for Pakistan this series. Doesn't mean all is lost, but it means that they probably require a pretty good batting percentage or batting differential, whatever you're going to call it, to ensure that they are a chance for that final spot in the top 4.
The experienced Cougar line is into the attack again after an impressive first spell, but that's not his best. It slid down the leg side for a wide. 2 for 4 off his first 2 overs. Bowled some fantastic areas.
Just don't mention the fielding, Steve.
I thought about it. He's out of range now, but he's focusing on his bowling. Maybe it has rattled him a little bit. Let's see how he goes here. This time it's a better delivery. Watchfully played.
2 for 5. They are good figures.
Yeah, he bowled some terrific areas, and as I said earlier, it's not just what he's doing with the ball. I'm sure he's been a great influence on some of the other younger bowlers in the group. Passing on his wisdom. Still only 30 years himself. Here he comes again. This time it's a shorter delivery, and it's been called a wide from the leg stump umpire and seconded by the central umpire. So the 2nd extra for the over after 2 very tidy first overs from Cougar line.
He's already, this is his 5th and 6th wicket he's taken today already. 2 for 24 and 2 for 23 in his previous game. So putting together a really, really good competition.
Wasim Jr. on strike. This time he's clipped it into the leg side, which is probably a good move because it takes him off strike and brings Aziz on strike, who's been there for a little bit longer. And he's going to have a bit of a flurry, but again, they may just be looking for those short-term goals and team goals because the game is getting beyond them.
Perhaps Cougar line, another one who's just trying a few different things, hence the errors, while he's got a little bit of leeway with this score.
He's gone big. It's gone a bit high though. Fielder getting back. He's underneath it. And he's got it! What a catch! Thought he might have run underneath it there, but he's a very good catch. He's thrown it away in delight. Another nail in the coffin for the Shaheens. Aziz has got to go. And they are in all sorts of trouble here, Pakistan.
And Cougar line, he picks up his 3rd for the day. 3 very, very important wickets. 2 early ones and that one there. That's probably, as you said, final nail in the coffin for their hopes.
Yeah, the Kingsmen are delighted. It was a very good catch in the outfield. by his arm. And the tail are now going to get some batting practice at least, which maybe set them up for the rest of this tournament. There's always a positive to come out of these sort of situations. A little bit of exposure to these conditions for the lower end.
I was worried we might be caught up for catching duties there, yes, Steve, but it fell a little bit short, and a beautiful catch there from Hamada's arm. Scott Kugelheim, best figures today, 3 wickets, and he's conceded just 7 runs. Run rate required the current run rate is 6.9. And they need 100 runs from the last 4 overs and 3 balls at a required run rate of 22.22.
Kugelheim's not done yet. Amazing figures of 3 for 7 at this stage. Kingsmen very chirpy, as you'd expect. Pakistan crowd gone a little bit quiet. Here comes Kugelheim again. To the new batsman Shah. It's a slower ball, watchfully played to cover for no run.
And with the game tracking the way it will, Steve, it means that the Kingsmen will join the NT strike side as the only other team not yet to lose. Meanwhile, as we said, for Pakistan, it means they go 2-2.
Kugelheim again. This time it's a length ball and watchfully played by Shah. That brings, there's still another ball to go with the wides earlier. It's been an impressive over despite those 2 wides. He's got 3 for 7 off his 2.5. Yeah, the Chicago Kingsmen are a bit of a surprise packet, aren't they? I think initially they wouldn't have been one of the favourites in this tournament, but they have been going great guns, both with bat and ball.
Yeah, absolutely. And the next game tomorrow, 10 a.m. at Gazali's, they play the ACT Comets, who, fair to say, probably one of the more junior sides. That ball struck out there to mid-wicket. But yeah, you'd expect a win would come against the ACT Comets before what could be top of table clash against NT Strike on Thursday.
Yeah, that'll be a cracker on Thursday. That brings the 3rd over to an end for Kugelheim. He's got the figures of 3 for 8. Only 4 overs left in this innings for the Shaheens as they have a mid-pitch conference.
And that run rate really starting to show as they taper off. The Kingsmen really managed to pile on the runs late. You just don't quite feel it's going to be the same. 98, 99 still required from the last 4 overs.
Yeah, the worm tells the story there. Was just going along level, pegging, and then in recent times has just headed the wrong way. Change of bowler. We have Adil coming back on for another spell. His early figures 2 for 13 off 2. Both teams looking to finish this match strongly. Create some momentum for the upcoming games. A deal from the northern end. It's a foolish delivery. Swung hard but no run. Comfortably fielded at mid-on.
And after this loss, it means that Pakistan will drop from 2nd to 3rd. But as we've been saying here, Steve, as well, they want to make sure that they don't drop off completely because percentage could be really important after those 33 tournament games are done before finals.
Yeah, that's right. And that's why these next few overs are still important, even though the game is decided. All those factors like run rate and even the confidence of your players is going to carry on. Adil to Shah. It's a full toss.
Oh.
Dangerous delivery. It's been called a no ball. It's got a bit of a sore spot to rub. We'll probably have a little bit of a pause in play to make sure that he is okay. He gets down on his haunches. Never enjoyable when you get hit by a hard cricket ball.
So just going to have a little break here while they assess. Just taking a look at this replay. A bit of a nasty one here. He's come in and almost hit him sort of on the shoulder blade there.
Bit of sportsmanship shown out there. Kingsman getting over to make sure he's okay.
And if you are tuning in from Chicago, you might think that that would be a bit of a base walk. That's what you'd have in baseball. But looks like he will keep going out there.
There'd be a walk to first base, wouldn't it, that one? And it is a free hit, of course, so he's got to dust himself off with that bruise and try and free the arms. Here comes a deal. It's a short ball. It's swung hard, and they have got away with the free hit. No run. Fairly inconsequential in the whole scheme of things today. 2 for 14 off 2.2 with the impressive figures.
And it looks like the power surge has been activated as well. Just the two fielders outside of that middle ring. But they haven't made the most of it, the Pakistan side. As you can see, just the one no ball run acquired this over.
Foolish ball, swing and a miss. And it's just too much to ask, isn't it, for the lower order to be scoring at the required run rate. But as I said earlier, it's still an opportunity to try and get some time in the middle, maybe get a few runs away, get some confidence for the next game in the schedule.
As you heard, the US Kingsmen, their next game tomorrow, 10 a.m. against the ACT Comets at Ghazali Stadium. For Pakistan.
In comes the deal again. It's a short ball. It's been hit hard and straight. The fielder looks like he's given it up, and that is because the umpire has signalled a 6. A little bit out of the blue, but entertaining nonetheless. And something to cheer about for the Pakistan crowd.
And for Pakistan, they don't have to go far for the next game. That will be on this arena. In fact, their next two games will both be here at DXC Arena. Both night games. Adelaide Strikers tomorrow night. And here is that 6 coming from Adil.
Only just made it, but it's 6 in the book.
In fact, it's from Shah. My apologies.
Adil comes in again. Bowling to Shah. This time Shah gets himself a Yorker and he's good enough to keep it out. A little bit of a wry smile from the bowler Adil, saying, well done son, you got that one out. I thought I had you. As Shah still recovering from that full toss from a few balls earlier. It looks like he's still in a little bit of pain. Toughen it out.
And the talk coming back into the Kingsman game at the moment, they can probably just sense the last 3 overs are coming here. They're up and about. Victory almost all but secured here at DXC Arena.
This time it's a full delivery. It's hit hard to a regulation point. And no run. That brings it to the end of the 17th over. Adil has 2 for 20 off 3. And the Pakistan Shaheens are 8 for 115 off 17 overs, still well short of the target of 207.
And looks like Shah's just going to be he's just going to get the medicos to come out and have another quick look at him. Copped a nasty ball to the shoulder blade. Here is the Kingsman bowlers at the moment. Scotty Kugelheim, how about that? 3 wickets, 8 runs is conceded off 3 overs. That is phenomenal bowling. Maybe the best we've seen all tournament. But otherwise, aside from him, it's still relatively consistent. 2 wickets to Ihsan Adil, and then 1 each to Mudassar Khan. That's Muhammad Hassan Khan. And also to, I just missed that last one. The screen beat me to it. I think that might have been Umair Khan. A few of them on the score sheet for both sides today, Steve.
Yes, there's Khans everywhere. Kugelheim still not done yet. He's at the top of his mark. There's going to be still a slight delay as the medical team do their work. Much appreciate what they do. The medical team at every game, of course, to make sure that players have the assistance they need in these sort of situations.
And you are here watching Game 17 of the Top End Series, T20 competition held here in Darwin, Palmerston, and the top end of Australia, the Northern Territory. And Game 17 means we're just over halfway for the tournament stage games and just under halfway when you include the grand finals as well, or the finals and the grand final coming up on the 24th of August this Sunday. So plenty more cricket to come, including what could be a top-of-the-table undefeated clash in a few days' time between this Kingsmen outfit and the local NT Strike side. That is going to be mouth-watering stuff.
Kugelheim to Wasim Jr. It's a foolish delivery, over-pitched, and he's helped himself to a boundary. That's a great shot. And the Pakistan flags have been enacted for the first time in a while.
Still a good turnout. Particularly these international sides have had some strong supporter bases coming along to their games and supporting. In particular, Steve, the Nepalese side was just phenomenal, seeing the red and blue jumpers coming out in force.
Kugelheim again, it's a short ball this time. He wasn't too happy about that ball going straight down over his head. And it is indicated by the umpire at point in this case, rather than square leg. He's probably trying to keep the sun out of his eyes. That it is the one short ball that Kugelheim's entitled to for the over. Kugelheim's pushed a man back in the same direction as where the runs came from before. So I'm thinking this may be a full ball, hoping he might be able to add to his wicket tally. Let's have a look. That's a short one, and he has been punished for that. That wasn't a very good delivery. A little bit of damage done to his impressive early figures, and that is going to go for 4 runs. Again, the Pakistan crowd enjoying this late flurry.
Yeah, and they'll need every run they can get. They have been pretty good so far. They had a pretty big win over the Bangladesh side first up. But they'd be looking at the scoreline at the moment thinking we're better than that. We aren't losing to this Kingsman side by 70, 80 runs. Still 2 overs to reduce the pain.
Kugelheim again, still got good figures, but they are being damaged as we speak. Here he comes in, looking to get back to a length delivery. This time he's bowled a slower ball, and it's ended up being a wide down the leg side. Potentially he's seeing this as an opportunity to experiment. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe trying a few new deliveries when the game is already in the bag. But that is a wide and another run to Pakistan.
Yeah, otherwise prior to this over, he was tracking at 3 for 11. Phenomenal figures really, and probably what we thought could have been the best of the tournament so far. As you said, he's sort of damaging them a little bit with whatever experimenting he's doing at the moment. But it's a good opportunity for him.
This time it's straight onto his leg stump, and it's been pulled away for an easy single. He's got protection out there. Only the 2 men out still with this power surge at this late stage.
And that required run rate still gets me every time, is nearly jumping out to above 6 runs per ball, essentially making the game pretty close to redundant. I think this ball might just about do it. Currently tracking at 7, which isn't awful, but nowhere near competitive in a game like what today's brought up.
Cougar line again, that's more like it. A nice little bit of off-pace delivery there to Shah, who is unable to get any bat on that one.
A target of 207 is still 82 runs off.
So Shah would be looking to get himself a nice 10, 15, 20 not out here to take him some momentum into the next game, or maybe another similar opportunity that he might get. Cougar line's got 1 ball left in this eventful spell. This one's on the legs and it has been hit out to deep mid-wicket for a single. So Shah will retain the strike. At the end of the 18th over, Pakistan Shaheens are 8 for 126.
And could be the last you see of Scotty Kugelheim, even if just for a day or two. He's bowled all 3 games so far. You mentioned it's an interesting task that the match managers have and the coaches have in terms of resting their players. 6 games within 11 days or 10 days of each other can put a bit of strain, particularly on those fast bowlers. He has bowled very well prior to today. 2 for 24, 2 for 23, and then today 3 for 19. In the end, still very good figures.
Yeah, absolutely. He was probably a contender for man of the match until that last over. He might have just been pipped now, but it will be interesting to see what decision he's come up with. Coming around the wicket here. Nice little delivery there, safely played for a dot ball.
And bowling now, Mudassar Ghulam. This will be his final one as well. Opened the attack today, conceding just 4 runs. He's also managed to pick up a wicket along the way. 1 for 25, his figures.
Still, he's been gone for the short ball and he's just poked it over the wicketkeeper's head. That was inventive. It was a very nice shot. It's got a 4 runs, and again the Pakistan flags are back in action.
Yeah, interesting approach to these last few overs. Almost hurting their own tally a little bit, the Kingsmen here.
It definitely seems as though they are trying to make things happen. Maybe they're trying to bowl Pakistan out to gain some extra points, but they're certainly added to their variety. They haven't gone down the line and length road. They've mixed up their lengths. A lot more short balls than you'd expect.
Possibly a little bit fatigued as well. Unsure exactly. We know it's a diverse team. We don't know exactly where they've all travelled from, but I imagine if they've all come from Chicago, it'd be a difference in temperature.
Yeah.
But yeah, they just seem to have wearied a little bit in the last 4 or so overs.
Mudassar again from the northern end. This time he's bowled full. A big swing from Shah, but no contact made of any significance and no run. Eight balls left in the innings, which has been another successful one for the Chicago Kingsmen after putting on a massive score with the bat. It's been a very impressive performance all round. Only the 1 catch going down. Other than that, they've fielded extremely well, backing up the bowlers. Mudassar comes in now. It's a shortish ball. Another hard swing from Shah with no effect. We really can't expect these guys to come in at this stage of the game and be scoring at a better rate than what the batters were. It's not their job.
And the batters, well, they've been quite strong in the tournament. Today just didn't quite bring enough for the Pakistan Shaheens.
Mudassar for his last ball. It's full. He appeals. Doesn't get a lot of support from the umpire. It brings it to the end of his 4 overs spell with the figures of 1 for 29. And the Pakistan Shaheens are 8 for 130 after 19 overs.
6 more balls to come, 77 runs. It is well out of the equation. In fact, I think they need 12 runs per ball, more than that even.
It's a lot of no balls, isn't it?
It's a lot of no balls. That would blow that Manhattan out of the water. But I think from here, if you are the Kingsmen, you're probably looking at, we can get 2 wickets in and over. Let's try and go for it. Let's really assert our dominance here and set up some momentum. Has tapered off a little bit, as I said, in probably the last 5 or 6 overs of this game. They've just looked a little bit weary. Let's try and keep those no balls to a minimum and pack up shop a few balls early.
Umar Khan is going to bowl the last over of the game, which has been a successful one for the Chicago Kingsmen. Comprehensive victory here against the Shaheens. He throws it up, it's a full toss. It's been dealt with. There is a fielder in the area who's going to get around in time, and they come back for a comfortable 2.
Khan's figures today, 1 for 15 off 2 overs and 1 ball.
So they'd love to pick up the last 2 wickets in this over. Bowl the Shaheens out. The Shaheens have got another version of that. He's danced down the wicket. He's hit the ball hard. There is a fielder there. It's going to drop just short. They're considering a second run with a slight misfield, but they're going to have to settle for just the 1. And with 4 balls remaining, Pakistan 8 for 133. Khan again, this is on the leg side. It might have pitched outside leg, which is why it is not going to be given LB. An overthrow slightly in the equation. And 3 balls remaining. Pakistan 8 for 134. Wasim Jr. Handy little cameo for a tail ender out here. Dances down for a single. He goes on to 15 off 13 for some batting practice for him. And equally Shah, 12 off 19. He has swung hard. I don't think it was the intended area on the ground, but
not at all.
It is going to result in a boundary, I believe. The umpire looks like he's unsure, or is it just pulled up short?
I think just pulled up a little bit short.
Okay, the batters didn't really run hard. They sort of, I think they might have thought it was going to go, and they might have cost themselves some runs there, but that's okay. Not the end of the world. Wasim Jr. back on strike. Final ball of this successful game for the Kingsmen. It's belted down to long on for an easy single. The 2 Pakistan Shaheens trot through for a single. It's handshakes all round. And the Pakistan Shaheens have gone down today to the Kingsmen, who batted first after being sent in. And they put on an absolute clinic with their batting, particularly towards the back end. So you can see the American flag there. A lot of excitement in the Kingsmen camp with the way they're going in this tournament. A few of the highlights on the screen here, Will.
Yeah, look, it was, they needed to be quick early, the Pakistan side, and unfortunately it was probably wickets which went quickly. 2 gone there relatively early. We knew that their 3 top order batters were where their firepower was. When it was left to Yasir Khan, we knew they were going to be in a little bit of trouble. He tried to put up a fight, and he lasted with 6 or 7 of his teammates before eventually he went as well. Still managed to put up a decent fight, and even looking towards the tail end, they probably did very well considering they're not specialist batters and were ultimately fighting a losing fight. But those wickets just fell a little bit too quickly for the Pakistan side. They did have a little bit of a blueprint to follow, and throughout that innings, they stayed relatively close, at least for the first 10 overs or so, with what the Kingsmen had done just an innings before them. But as I said, those wickets that dropped just a little bit too quickly is ultimately what cost them. Looking at the Shaheens, their top scorer was Yasir Khan, their opener. And then their second top scorer, their captain, Ifran Khan Niazi, he went down early as well. Not early, sorry. He put in a good fight before going down. And for the Kingsmen bowlers, Scott Kugelheim was definitely the pick of the bunch. 3 wickets off 4 overs and 19 runs conceded. Otherwise, singles to Ghulam Madasar and Muhammad Hassan Khan and Umair Khan as well. There is a match summary for you, and it was ultimately a 69-run win from the Kingsmen. They went on to, well, they'll go on to remain undefeated for the Pakistan Shaheens. It's 2 wins and 2 losses. Coming up tomorrow, there is the Kingsmen play the Comets again, while Pakistan will have redemption against the Strikers. Otherwise, it's been a pleasure to bring you the latest fixture in the top End T20 Series. Thanks for tuning in.
Are you looking to hit your studies for 6? Make the move to Australia's Northern Territory and start a world-class partnership where your potential can glide through boundaries and you can rack up runs in places you never imagined. Enjoy our laid-back lifestyle and help us build what's next. When this over is over, think about getting on a good wicket and consider studying in Australia's Northern Territory. Authorised by the Northern Territory Government, Darwin.
Cricket taught us to chase boundaries. Out here, you'll find new ones. From hot springs to hotter curries, the Northern Territory surprises at every turn. Adventure, culture, food, it's all here and it's all real. Not your usual holiday, not your usual Australia. New boundaries, new territory. Australia's Northern Territory.